because obviously they have way less experience playing overpass. But that's just my feeling here. And I'd say it's not even impossible that Na'Vi could 2-0 Mousesports, but we're getting into it here. So welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. This is Na'Vi versus Mousesports, and this is Fragment Masters Season 3. We're at Group B, and this is the consolidation match. So winners go to upper bracket, losers go to lower bracket. And Tabson, well, he's going on an adventure up towards the middle, but only for a little while. He's got some backup there as well. And they're just hanging around. And so it looks like Mousesports, Na'Vi might want to do a bit of a fake here.
Yeah, they do seem to be gathering up on the B side of things right now, Na'Vi. They've got that split healthily. They dropped the decoy mid and then rotated that man back around, Edward, over to A pit. So they've got 3 guys on the A side, and they're rotating in from underpass as well. This is going to be crucial here. Legia, he has to get some damage in, and he gets 1.
That was a great flashbang. They're trying to hide here. StarX and the follow-up grenade. What a great angle. Chris looking for the single headshot on Zeus, but he's not going to be able to pick it up. So at least they get a return frag. Bomb is not going to go down just yet. They're trying. Michaelitos picked up a kill, and Alu's going to land a good headshot. Seized 1 health, and Alu will pick the double, and already the defuse is happening. So Na'Vi going for, instead of a fake, as you said, they go for underpass, but I think that flashbang killed around for Na'Vi. That was too much.
That flash was just brutal.
Oh yeah, we're just going to reconnect into the server, guys.
Right.
So this isn't a problem with the game, but sometimes when you connect to a server, the counter, which shows you the HE and every the health bar and everything else, that gets a little bit screwed up. So yeah, we reconnect and then we're back in to the action. But a good start for Mousesports at least. Being on the CT side, it's got to feel good.
I mean, that is everything that they want right there. Especially against Na'Vi, they know that they're a tough opponent. They know that they have to get a good start. So for Mousesports to pick up that first round and get the guns and not even mess around. I mean, 4 rifles straight up, and then Chris J, minimal investment on his part, $1,200, right? And this is kind of what we were talking about yesterday, right? Now that the SMGs have been buffed, we always talk about how it's a little bit of a risk for the AWPer, the main AWPer, to just kind of hold onto a pistol and not really do anything with it, or look to save money by just investing in a pistol, not going up to a rifle. Now you may actually have mid-tier options with the SMGs. So $1,200 investment on a UMP that does a lot of damage versus armor could actually be pretty good here for Chris J.
Look at the madness from Na'Vi. They actually put down the bomb and they still buy in the second round with his. That's really, really uncommon here for the terrorist side, and it's working so far. They get the first kill. They've also done some damage to Legia here, and he's going to go down in that corner. At least they're in a 3-on-3, but they got to be really careful here, Mousesports. Giving up this round would be a huge mistake, and Tabson almost getting shot down through the smoke. Chris and the UMP, is he going to be the one saving the day? Michael will pick up the 1 kill, and Chris has spotted him out, and he actually stops Edward from doing a bit of a ninja, and that's a double headshot with the UMP. And he even managed to trade it. It's a lot of money and getting an even better rifle. That's great.
$1,200 right there, $600 per SMG frag. So when you're looking at like $300 average for the rest of those kills, pistol, rifle, getting that bonus money is going to be huge for him. And he actually goes ahead and reinvests in it. He's like, okay, I'll just pick up another one.
So Na'Vi, if they hadn't bought in the last round, they would have AKs and armor this round. But the fact is, they're still going to be able to buy in the 4th round. So it's actually not that big of a trade-off for Na'Vi. I mean, yeah, they get to buy rifles 1 round later, but this is almost like if they hadn't put down the bomb in the 1st round, they just give themselves another try. It's actually not such a bad idea for the terrorist point of view. Another nicely bounced grenade there for Michaelele, who's also going to be picking up a kill with the M4, and Ala will finish off Seized coming up through the middle connector. So now just StarX. They've got the 1 kill on Tabson here, and not exactly a great round for Na'Vi.
Not nearly as good as the last one. This time around, they just pick up Tabson. They don't get the 2 kills, so Na'Vi's still managing to do damage, and here we go. 4th round buy coming in. They still manage to get the AKs. They have good nades as well. All the smokes necessary here for a round. And Na'Vi, they need those nades, but look at this. So it's going to be Chris J dropping the AWP for Alu. So Alu, again, is going to get priority on this op over Chris J, which is not something we're used to seeing from Mousesports. I mean, Mousesports is, it's like online J. I mean, he's got the AWP. He's the op master. Like, it's so interesting to see him actually take a step back from the sniper rifle.
Yeah, yesterday last time we saw Mousesports on this map, though, they were picking up the double up later on the CT side. But you're right, when they only have 1, it seems to be Alu sort of taking point on it, and
at least the past couple of days.
Yeah, so I can kind of live with that. I don't think it's a horrible decision.
What I'm thinking is maybe it's like a JW moment, right? Where JW for Fnatic, he's the op king, but he took a step away from the rifle for a while and really focused on shotties and rifles.
Oh, missed smoke here actually makes a big deal. That means Tabson still has full control of middle, so a huge mistake for Na'Vi. But the main difference is still going to be whether or not they can make it out intact over by the A-bomb site, where they're getting ready to smoke and flash their way in. Good counter smoke coming out from Legia is going to buy a little bit more time. And Well, time for Na'Vi is not an issue right now. They got 45 seconds, and in Na'Vi terms, that's a lot of time. Alu going to go down. It's a good opening from Guardian, and Ed will pick up the kill. They got to take care of Legia. He's going to take down one and can't find a double, so it's still a 2-on-2. Starry's caught way out in the open here, but somehow he still gets enough health from Zeus. They don't have a lot of health. This grenade could be beautiful. Oh, but it doesn't get them. Look at that. Starry somehow surviving.
Oh, he's got a second nade. There we go. He found a second one there. Perfect play there by Michael, and he even knows that Zeus is lurking around A pit. He's going to find him, peeking out around the corner, and Michael will save that round for his mates. He even has plenty of time to go and pick up the AWP, so nicely done here by the Swede. This is going to be a sick round for Mousesports. Surviving that first buy round for them is crucial, and they managed to hold on to the most expensive rifle on the map for them. So this is, as far as Mousesports are concerned, this is solid work.
It definitely is. So we caught the action going in there. I'm wondering what happened in middle, if that missed smoke had anything to do with it. Because it looked like now they actually had a pretty good entrance into the bomb site coming from the ramp and everything. I mean, they cleared it out. So that's usually what you need to do. I guess one of the things is that they ended up in that 2-on-2 with very little health. I think if they'd both had 100 health, it would have been, like, first of all, the grenade wouldn't have had as much of an effect. So I think that was just a big factor there. But now we can bind this round anyway. The bomb plant makes sure of that. And Chris is here with even a Molotov to try and stop them if they come through. And this is going to be a really quick rush with still one person guarding the middle, which is a great idea. Chris, and Smoke's going to help him only for a second. He needs back up quick here.
Oh, and he's just crouching in this smoke. He's deciding to use it to his advantage. He knows that there's a man moving up on short, but he takes too long with it. Seized will hunt him down in the end. And Starks and Seized doubling up on Tabson as he rotates through Kitchen. This is down to 2 remaining members here for Mousesports in a 2-on-4. Lots of damage dealt to the Na'Vi members, but they still have to find their way in here. And there's good afterplant positions here for Na'Vi as well. They're well spread out around this map.
Yeah, they are. Molotov in here is going to force Seized out a little bit, and he's going to take up the kill there. Just dodges the flash. Actually, pretty nice movement coming out. Legia will pick up a kill, and now it's back into a 2-on-2. They've wasted a lot of time, so they're going to go for the smoke diffuse, and that might actually work because the guys rotating in from Kitchen. Nobody's shooting at Legia. Oh, in the last 2 seconds, Zeus will pick up the kill. Very, very important. That could have definitely worked for Mousesports. And Na'Vi doing a good job, though. And that kind of rush, the B rush, I mean, this time they did a delayed B rush, but Fnatic, for instance, are big fans of doing just a straight B rush, and it's something you have to learn how to deal with. And the way that Mousesports dealt with it was not exactly great. I think that solution from Chris was like that was an improvised solution. It was like, all right, I got to do something, I'll just hide in the smoke.
Yeah, getting caught with his HE in hand, or not even an HE, that's the problem. He had, oh, Edward. Bit of a battle here, and Legia will come out on top. Actually manages to get through that without taking a single point of damage. So good opening initiation there by Legia to get that entry frag.
Actually, Mousesports were headed over to A, but now that they lose a guy here, they go back, and that should be a free kill here for Michael. Guardian caught looking the wrong way, uncharacteristically. A little bit of a hiccup, maybe. Always a little bit worrying on Michael because he had some problems last time around. Legia is going to get a great headshot in on Zeus, and this is starting off really nicely for Mousesports. If they can win this round, Na'Vi is going to be actually in a very bad position here in the first half already. Yeah,
they'll have their money reset here, so it's crucial that Starks actually tries to find a frag, but he's in a 1v4 situation. He can't even get out of the apartments. They pick him off with that AWP, Alu rotating in from that A site. And that, I mean, that is just fantastic there. Mousesports saving themselves.
I think as Legia gets the kill on Edward and Underhouse, Na'Vi are worried that if Legia goes searching for, around that B-bomb site, he's going to find nobody, and that will give them a pretty big clue that an A push is coming. So Na'Vi actually, I think they started walking back because Edward got caught, and then they got caught again. Like, it was kind of, they walked into just a different player that was in a different position.
Yeah, exactly.
So
well,
a little bit careless.
Michael pushing into B apartments like that, getting that information. And we can't forget that initially, at least, Michael with LGB, when they were just a force to be reckoned with on this map in particular. So that guy's got a lot of experience, also with the aggressive pushes. So that's something to keep in mind here, looking at how Mousesports decide to play their CT side. Oh, but C's just got that scout right now, and he's looking towards short. He knows that Michael likes to peek, and there you go. Headshot on Michael. Nice opening by Na'Vi.
Yeah, that's what they need. But Chris doing a good job after all from Mousesports' point of view, just getting a few kills back. Though Guardian will pick up a headshot on him too. So this is turning into a fairly expensive round for Mousesports. They still shouldn't lose it. That would be just really bad for Mousesports. Sorry, for Na'Vi. Yeah, for Mousesports if they manage to throw this round away. And indeed they won't. But still, 2 kills is... That makes it worth it for Na'Vi, I think. That's not bad at all.
Yeah, as far as an eco is concerned, yeah, that's good enough work.
The one thing that's worth pointing out right now is that even though Guardian does have 3 kills, he hasn't actually been able to afford an AWP, and that's obviously one of the big resources having him on the team. So that's something that, I mean, if for Na'Vi to have done that, they would actually have had to have gone for another eco round at some point here. And obviously they're not really interested. They want to see if they can't just win it with rifles, but if they keep losing, they might have to make the hard choice and just say, all right, we'll eco one more round than maybe we should, and then try and do it. But obviously, here's going to be the exact same rush that we saw last time, still with Zeus in the middle.
Yeah, they saw how it worked as well. And Zeus last time around cleared up short very quickly, so that's going to be a crucial point here. But Chris J this time around gets that molly down, good damage out, and he's still alive in a much better position. He's going to be able to pick up the first man getting out onto that site. That's seized, taken out already, and Chris J is still alive. He loses the help of Michael on short, but now the rotation has come through from his mates.
Well, still got 10 bullets left. Got to be careful. That smoke's going to dissipate any second here, but it's still looking pretty good. Edward taking a lot of damage as well. 3 bullets. He's got a little bit of time, but he can't reload here, leaving it up to Legia. He's coming in from behind, which should be a great position. He spots one guy, but can't get the kill on him. And the question is, are they going to run for A? They can run all the way to A. It's still 45 seconds left. So if they pick up the bomb here and just go for it, but you can see Legia already had that thought that that's pretty what they're doing. He's right now playing a fair distance ahead of the Na'Vi players.
Wow. That's
some really great game sense, but is he there too quickly? Oh, I think he just mind-gamed himself.
Yeah, he like anti-bluffed himself, basically. Oh, no. And he's going to turn away from A as well. He's not even going to see them get out onto the site. This is heartbreaking for Legia.
And Starix has an AWP, so now if Legia comes back through short, there's a good chance Starix will win this battle really quickly. It's going to be 15 seconds left, and now Legia actually should know. If he comes back around through CT spawn, he's still in a decent position. He's got the grenade, and he's got the smoke, so he could definitely use that against the AWPer, and also just if he catches anyone with a grenade, that'll be great. But now we have time to get into better positions currently. Now, that apartments position that Edward's walking up into is kind of good, except for the fact that Legia has a smoke. So he could get smoked off, grenade on ramp, and this is golden for Legia. Just wait. He walks out, looking the wrong way currently. Where's that smoke?
He's got to check. He's got to be thorough right now, but he's running out of time. And there you go. Smoke is going to go down. Yeah, that's not even going to happen. Like,
I feel like...
This time around,
I feel like his diffuse position could have been better. Well, never mind. Really tough position. And actually, I don't know, Mousesports, they should have done way better, because the fact is that Chris handled that push much better than he did last time. The fact that he had a Molotov out instead of a smoke, and the fact that he put the smoke off in a better position, meant that Mousesports probably should have come out on that. Maybe a little bit sloppy work from the teammates coming into it. I feel like the backups arriving just wasn't strong enough. And the big problem is now Guardian has that AWP.
Exactly. Starks has been able to hang on to that for him from the past round. So he does have the sniper rifle. Guardian, he's no slouch with the rifle, with the regular rifle, with the AK, for example, as well. But yeah, he's definitely one of the premier snipers in the world.
Yeah.
Mousesports, however, still managing to force up a bit of a buy here. Alu has an AWP. Chris J just straight scout for him. So they still have some firepower here. Mousesports are not out of this yet, but they still have to figure out exactly where Na'Vi are coming from. And of course, Na'Vi, you know, just the team that loves to burn time off the clock.
I love this from Legia. That's kind of cool looking over the smoke like that. And actually now he's going to go fairly aggressive. So this is also very cool. He could just catch a free kill on Seized, but oh yeah, he will. And that's the bomb down. Not sure that really helps him all that much. He's going to go even more aggressive, but he can't really easily hold the bomb here alone. He's going to commit to it anyway. This is really unusual play for Legia. The normal thing to do would be fall back and play it safe. Starix is going to be walking in and does catch a free kill on Legia. And that's maybe part of the reason why you want to fall back, because actually that picks it from a 5-on-3 into a 4-on, well, now back into a 3-on-3.
Yeah.
So Mousesports, I think, throwing a little bit away here.
Oh, it's just unfortunate timing there as well for Tabson. He misses seeing the man up in the apartments and then just walks out into the guy on short. Guardian will find the headshot on Alu. That's him down from CT, so they have control of A site now at this point, Na'Vi. They can walk out with all 3 members onto this site, plant that bomb, and there isn't a whole lot that Mousesports can do about this because they've even been spotted out. Chris J coming in through CT got spotted by Guardian, so Na'Vi know how to set up themselves up now.
Yeah, from a 5-on-3 into a 2-on-3. And I don't want to put everything on Legia not falling back, but I think that was definitely a mistake.
Yeah, not backing off there. That was, I mean, he had the right idea. You know, he knows that there's going to be a guy up in apartments, but then for him not to be checking T-spawn as well. And that, again, was a bit of bad luck there because he looked at T-spawn and then he turns away just as he would have seen the head of the guy coming through. So it's just like twice that round, 2 players from Mousesports, they look away just as they would have got the information that may have changed the whole round for them. If
you analyze the decision-making from a sort of, risk-benefit kind of thing, then, the benefit for Mousesports was that they could have turned it into a 5-on-2. And the downside is that they could essentially bring Na'Vi back into the round. So it's like, do you want to give that up for the playing 5-on-3 is always already so much of an advantage that you should just go for it. So I don't know. Well, and even worse now is that Na'Vi actually have 3 rounds, and there's a really good chance they're going to put themselves on a 4th just because Mousesports don't really have a lot of money here. So you got to give it to Na'Vi. Bit of a slow start, bit of a, they went for an early buy and it backfired slightly on them. It meant they had a few eco rounds to begin with, but now they're back in action here.
Yeah, they had a brutal start as well, considering with the pistol round, how they just got slapped down by Mousesports. But Na'Vi, of course, so much experience on this lineup, and they're perfectly happy just slowing down the pace of the game, getting control back. It's going to be a quick push in here through apartments. Tapson is going to get mowed down, however, by Seized, and Zeus working his way through the smoke will catch Legia out on the stairs and manages to pick up Chris J as well. So this is now, well, the A-bomb site here for Na'Vi. Mousesports, they only have Michael alive, and he's rotating in from the B site, but there isn't a whole lot he can do about this. That was very nicely done there by Na'Vi, though. At the end of the day, when they figured out, okay, this is a bit of a mix buy coming in here. We've already gotten a couple picks. We can just kind of close in.
Yep.
And take control.
And now they're going to go looking for Michael, who's doing a good job just waiting here. He just wants to get, do a lot of damage to their economy, and that's definitely the safer and the most reasonable choice at this point.
He's got a bit of the pop flash behind him as well, but now they know exactly where he is, and he will get caught by Starks.
The thing is, because we're dealing with Na'Vi and because we're on Mirage, normally I would say it's just fine for Mousesports to finish this first half like 9-6, 10-5 something. But I think when you're up against Na'Vi, you've got to shut them down really hard. I would like to see Mousesports finish this 11-4 just to try and make absolutely sure that they win this first map because, yeah, again, they are the underdogs and they're going to have to try hard and not like that. Instant pick-off. Michael does have an AWP, but that significantly weakens the A-bomb side, especially because now Legia is basically the only one holding that ramp, and he's only got an M4. If they all come charging in, there's no way he can kill everyone. Be great if he can kill even 2 people if they come through.
A lot of this is going to come down to Legia right here. If he decides to push down, he has to know that the smokes are coming over. His mates have to be calling this information to him.
He's just waiting. And, well, Guardian is maybe going to be the first guy jumping down. Legia just walking straight into it, and that's a free kill. So now Mousesports are in really deep trouble. Michael all the way in the background. There's a bit of a backstand going on, but it's going the wrong way right now, and Guardian just picks up a 3rd kill. So there we see the danger of leaving that AWP to the Slovakian player. Chris is going to take down Edward. Unfortunately, this is not where the bomb is, so they should actually just stay in this bomb site. There's no reason for them to walk in and give up these rifles.
Exactly right. At this point, just hang back, try and hold on to these guns. Of course, Na'Vi are going to know that you're trying to eco. That's the thing. And look, Na'Vi, they aren't even waiting around on the site. They've already cleared out everything. They're on the hunt right now, looking for the remaining members of Mousesports. They know that Mousesports, all they want to do is hold on to these guns. But Zeus is going to find Taps in a kitchen. Chris J is still alive here, however. Tries to go for the spray down. He gets it, but only lives with 19 HP. So Na'Vi now know that he's severely tagged up, and there's plenty of time for them to come hunting for him.
Yeah, there definitely is. And they have grenades and everything too, so almost gets picked. That's a really good headshot onto Starix, though. So, I mean, at least Chris J is making them work for it here. But the grenade from Guardian, he ends up at 4 kills at the end of the round. And now the money again on Mousesports looking really bad here. 6-5 is the score we're looking at right now. And now we don't need much more than 5 rounds in the first half, I'm pretty sure. The really weird thing about what Legia was doing, because he did get the information that they were throwing smokes and everything into the bomb site. And what would have been really cool is that if Michael had had a flashbang, he can actually flash him over that wall and just help him get into it, but he obviously didn't. Legia going for an aggressive push is not such a bad idea, but it doesn't work this time.
Yeah, this is just getting picks everywhere here for Na'Vi. They're going to get out onto this B site so quickly this time. Chris J not actually in a position to be able to stop them either, seeing as how they're still kind of floating around mid. Michael seems to know that Zeus is hiding behind those boxes, though.
Yeah.
He's got an idea. He spots him out at the end, gets tagged. Nice shot there. Going for the peak shots, that's going to force Zeus to... I mean, basically, he's grabbing Zeus's attention. Doesn't seem to know that somebody's lurking ahead of him, though. Or above, at least.
Oh, Michael, that's a great 180. Turns around and takes down Edward, too. And another headshot comes in onto Starix. He turns around, and he realizes Cease was going to be there. There's still a lot of damage done. Remember, they only had pistols here. So, I mean, Mousesports, they're making Na'Vi pay for all these hunts, for all these eco-frags. Guardian still has a bank of about 12,000, and Mousesports, well, they could afford to buy this round, but they got to keep winning, essentially.
Oh, we should be live here right now, so let's get back into the game and see what's happening. Yeah. All right. But now we get to see 6-6 the score, and Na'Vi Na'Vi have now got those 6 rounds. This is the real scary part here. Na'Vi now has 6 rounds on their T side, and I mean, they still have money to be able to keep the pressure up throughout the remainder of this half as well. So it's not going to get any easier here for Mousesports. But now we see Mousesports trying to change up their defense. They go for that double op play. Is Legia going to get flashed into apartments, or is he just going to go for it?
Yeah, he's certainly waiting here. It's going to be one flashbang. He's right at the edge, and actually, I think Su's hurt him, but still, he wins the battle, and that's a good start. Now, the rest of Na'Vi are now coming up with the A ramp, and backup should be coming fairly quickly. Look at that, actually, instant rotation for the whole Mousesports team. They haven't even seen the bomb yet, and they're just going all in. That's a big risk, but this time it feels like it's going to pay off.
Yeah, sick flash there by Legia. He's reloaded as well. Spots out Guardian, gets the good spray, could go for another one, and he's going to get it before getting taken out. Fantastic play this time around by Legia, and he manages to lock down that site near single-handedly.
That's... I mean, it's kind of hard to criticize when it works so well, but for them to move everyone out of that B-bomb site so quickly, that's really scary. But I mean, maybe they had a good count. Maybe someone saw on the minimap, like on the radar, maybe someone spotted the bomb. That could be it. But it felt like the smokes and the flashbangs meant they couldn't have like certain knowledge that was going to happen. And now we don't even get a bomb plant, so they're going to be spending some of that bank they had on Guardian. And there's a double up set up back on Mousesports with Chris and Alu. So we'll have to see if that's going to pay off. Legia, again, playing close, but he's the only one, which means if Legia goes down without taking anyone with him here, and the smokes are just going to keep everyone else out, I don't think Mousesports going to have a fun time trying to retake this bomb site.
The wall bang, and Legia this time around again. 2nd round in a row will come out ahead. He's still waiting up on top of the balcony as well. They're already pushed out onto the site, Na'Vi, so this could be a great opportunity for Na'Vi. They just need to make sure that they get rid of Legia. But through that smoke, we can see, thanks to, well, the X-ray, we know that this is now a 3-on-2 situation, and they're moving out onto the site, 2-on-2.
And now a 1-on-2 here. They've spotted Guardian, and he's crouched behind. He's going to go for the quick duck up and almost gets that shot. He can definitely win this 1-on-2. They got to respect him at this point, and it's 3 orbs left. It's like orb versus orb action going on here.
Oh, this is real scary. Okay, Alu hiding behind the box. 40 seconds. Oh, the flick attempt.
Did he hit him?
Through? Did he? I mean, through the wood there?
Yeah.
Maybe?
I didn't see if he had 54 already. Well, we're going to find out anyway if Guardian can do this. He's going to smoke off one direction. Be great if he could at least put the bomb down here. Just give him his team a little bit. In the meantime, Chris has been using this time to get up behind Guardian. So this is really smart play, actually. Mousesports with a high level of communication. And Guardian, he tries to fake it, and Chris will take him out. So 8-6, and a bit of a pause being asked for, I think, for the Mousesports team. So fair enough. And we're going into the last round of the half, in fact. 9-6 is the best that Mousesports can do. And I have really serious doubts if that's enough. I
mean, it's possible because Mousesports, if they pick up the pistol round, right, they can start putting the real pressure up onto Na'Vi, and they could potentially run away with it. I mean, if Chris J, Alu, if they can wake up with that AWP, but Na'Vi is looking very good, and if Na'Vi pick up that pistol round, and if Guardian gets a very quick AWP, we've seen what kind of impact he has already on these rounds with that AWP, that sniper rifle. So him on the CT side, where he's able to just lock down a site, it's going to be so tough for Mousesports to try and get in there and actually have an impact on anything at all. Na'Vi CT, I mean, they are looking really good on their CT side recently as well. I don't know.
The thing, I mean, it feels like the longer we go into this game, the more that one fatal 5-on-3 round really starts to have an impact, because I think Na'Vi at that point would have been stuck on 4 rounds, and actually Mousesports ecoed afterwards. So that one 5-on-3 mistake really is coming back to haunt them now.
Well, money's so important. That's the end all be all basically. Yeah. And Mousesports losing that game of chicken as far as the money is concerned. As soon as you have to eco.
So while we're paused here, guys, let us just remind you that you know, you gotta look out during the broadcast today, and actually every day of Fragbite we have this concept called the Play of the Day, where we'll pick one sequence at the end where we'll show you guys, and that's our sort of our attempt to show like a Play of the Day. But you can go on the fragbite.se website and you can check out all the different cool plays that have been happening throughout the day. Vote for them. The winner at the end of the whole tournament gets 25,000 SEK. That's thanks to Comhem. It's the Comhem Play of the Day. So it's a really, really cool concept. We had it last season as well. So
yeah, it's quite a bit of money as well. It's like 3,000 something euros. So I mean, you're looking at quite a nice little package change there for actually the biggest play. So last time around, it was Shoxy who won in season 2.
Yeah, you can get you can invite your team out and treat them to pizza or.
Feels like that would be something that you would do, right, with that kind of money. You know? It's like you guys, thanks to you guys, I was able to make this play happen.
Depends on how much you love your team. Because Lovers has been saying you don't need to be friends with your team. Just be like, screw you guys, it's my money.
It's my money. You don't need anything. This isn't Korea. I win something, I don't have to share with you guys, take you out to dinner or anything like that. Screw that. Yeah, it's possible. You know, that's the thing. Actually, when they win a big tournament, you know, you go back and you treat your whole team to a big dinner, basically.
Is that a tradition in Korea?
Apparently.
Oh, all right.
So I wonder, you know, European. I mean, I think maybe European scene is like it revolves more around just everybody getting blitzed out of their minds. Everybody just gets super smashed and has a great time.
Yeah, that sounds likely. I'm not gonna lie. I think the MyXMG members were tweeting some stuff when they were at the...
I'm just following the fetish drunk tweets, man. That's what it's all about right now.
Oh, here comes the initial push, and actually Guardian gets shut down by Chris, so the double up again in play. Edward completely flashed, finally gets unflashed, and actually it's going to be a bit of a battle going on in the middle. I think Mac got backstabbed, and then Sush went down. The re-peek here from Alu is going to secure a kill on C, so 9 to 6 is looking really likely, but again, there is not impossible. This would have been 11-4 if they hadn't had that one round, and they still got to be careful they don't throw this away. 1 on 3, and Starix does go down. So Mousesports, they secure the 9th round, which I think between any old other team, I would say this is pretty even. Like, this is how Mirage is kind of supposed to play out. Anywhere between 9-6 and 10-5, something like that for the CT side. But when we're dealing with Na'Vi, you need to get as much as you can on that terror side, because once they are CT like they are now, things can get a little bit ugly. Well,
especially on a map like Mirage. They're so good at Mirage and Na'Vi. When they're on their game on Mirage, they look like the best team in the world on this map. So that's why, you know, when you get into it, I mean, 6 rounds on T side already, that's excellent for them, but their CT side can be very solid unless C's gets picked off and rushed down early on like this. It's going to be 2 guys holding from short, however, so Na'Vi, they're going to be able to put some pressure, and Edward manages to pick up that headshot on Leggy at a start.
Yeah, Chris with a good kill on Starix here, and actually they just need to play it safe. Mousesports just not to hold their positions. Instead, they're going to go look for the kills, and they actually will get all of them, so I guess that works out for them. Chris with a triple, Mike Lily with a double. And the initial sort of fall apart here for Na'Vi was, who was it playing up in the apartments?
That was seized, actually.
Yeah, he got run over by the Glock train.
Well, it's like Na'Vi have now lost both pistol rounds in this half. I mean, in this map. That's a brutal, and both of them have been decisive as well. Yeah. You know, the one where Na'Vi were on the T side, they got slapped down by Mousesports.
Yeah, it used to be. It used to be. I mean, someone actually should redo this. I think it was Lopez who dug up these statistics at one point. But it's like it's been like over 6 months ago, so we need to sort of have them updated.
This is something we were saying like a year ago plus, right?
Yeah, essentially. But then back then it was that about 78% of the time, if you win both pistol rounds, you're going to win the map.
Yeah.
Obviously, there are variations because, I mean, especially with the advent of the CSET 75, we've seen a lot of times where you win the pistol, then you lose the follow-up round, and then it's kind of hard to predict how those stats work out. But still, that's worth thinking about, is that if you win both those pistol rounds, it does have a pretty big impact on the game.
Well, certainly, because you're looking at potential easy rounds after that, right? You know, anti-eco rounds where the other team is just going to be on pistols. I mean, granted, you know, CZs, you know, now it's, it's a bit more
the landscape has changed.
It's not as easy as it used to be, right? For example, you know, you used to be like, okay, they should have, you know, barring some miracle, they will have 3 rounds to work with. Yeah. But now, you know, of course, it makes it a little bit more tricky. Still, you know, you're looking at it like, okay, we're going to be able to build a little bit of bank. We're going to be able to get our feet going here on this new side and start off strong. So if you pick up that pistol round, it's a huge benefit, especially when you're thinking about, you know, your T side on Mirage. You're on the least favorite side of the map. You should be able to pick up a couple of rounds to really help you once Na'Vi get guns on their side.
Did they get more than 1 kill, Na'Vi, in this pistol? I don't think they did. I think 4 members survived from Mousesports. So that's actually a bit of an issue because
they killed. Yeah,
I bet you Na'Vi are going to want to buy as many scouts as they can. So it would have been nice if they had ended up, you know, at least in a one-on-one or something like that, where they could have, you know, so they would have had even more money going into it.
Yeah, what I'm wondering about now is, you know, how heavily does Guardian eco to get that AWP on his side, on that CT side?
They obviously weren't prioritizing it that much when they were on the terrorist side, but I mean, on the CT side, I'd actually be appalled if they don't just straight gun for it. I want him full ecoing every round just to make sure he can get it.
Yeah, or even, well, I wonder about the Chris J play. I really like the Chris J play, actually. You know, go for that ump. You know, $1,200. You got a lot of stopping power in it. It's only 25 bullets in the mag, but still it does something ridiculous like 69% damage versus armor now. So it's just really powerful. Yeah, and it's only $1,200, and you get $600 for frag. So it's like, if you want to just hang back on a pistol, this has a bit more stopping power, and Leggy is actually going to go for that ump.
Yeah, but we do have the answer for Guardian here. No armor and just a pistol. So that's what he's rocking. Yeah.
$300 invested by him.
Oh, seized. That corner is no longer so secret when they spotted you jumping in there. But he still has the C set, and they're running in headshot range, and actually his teammate's blocking him. Edward, well, he's going to pick up a kill and gives actually time for C's to reload, so somehow that still works out for Na'Vi, and now he's bunny jumping away, but Michael is going to catch him. Still great movement from C's. That's wonderful. I wish we saw more of stuff like that. Guardian is going to go down with a pistol. Sue's still right here, and the bomb's dropped in front of him. He's going to try and go for the pick here, and it almost takes down Chris with him, but Mousesports are going to win the round, and Na'Vi, well, the armor buy, they only get the 2 kills. Not good. Could have been better.
Could have been better, but I mean, Chris J has got to be counting his lucky stars right now that he lives through that with 4 HP. Zeus was way too close.
And speaking of Chris, he's almost, I mean, Michael is at 19, Chris at 20 kills.
Yeah.
So he's on form today. He's doing good.
And this without, being the point man throughout the most of the first half. So Alu was the one had the EWP, Michael Lele had it. Chris J's just been working with rifles for the most part. So great to see that he, doesn't really matter. Guardian, unfortunately for him, is about to have like a really rough day. That's just...
I feel like at that point, just keep slicing. Just don't even bother with the pistol.
Yeah, you're not gonna.
Oh, Zeus with a good stab in the back there for Tabson, goes down. But the bomb is planted, and that's pretty much it.
See if Stark's gonna hold on to that gun. This is actually not too shabby a situation. Edward now has a P250 to work with as well. They've got some good firepower to lock down mid. And Starks, he hears the man walking through CT there, all making just a little bit too much noise. So you see Starks, reacting like, okay, triangulating where this guy's coming from, and you see him prepared. So this is potentially another kill here for Na'Vi. Let's see if he actually finds the right angle, or if Alu decides to actually go hunting in B apartments.
Yeah, he's looking all over the place. But I mean, once he clears B apartments, there's not really that many places left. And now they know where Edward is at least. It'd be nice if they could steal that AK away from Starix, but it doesn't seem like it's going to happen. So that's it. 12-6. Mousesports are in a good position, but I think it's still well within the realm of reason that Na'Vi is going to bring this game all the way back. Like that, I wouldn't even be surprised if they did that. It wouldn't even call it an upset if they did. I think that'd just be Na'Vi gaining traction on Mirage. But Mousesports can break that in this round, and if they do, then they're definitely favorites to win the map. Right now, say it's almost even.
Nice nade there down onto Tabson to start. Starts, peekaboo moment. 1-for-1 trade. Zeus is going to get overwhelmed, though, and that's Tabson with a double entry frag onto A site. Still alive as well. Man advantage now for Mousesports as they manage to get this bomb plant fairly quickly. Yeah,
I'm glad they don't fight Guardian. Just smoke him off and let him shoot through the smoke and try and guess it. Legia's going to take down Edward, but Mousesports having a really good decision-making, and now Guardian's going to have to run away. It's those tiny moments, because if you fight Guardian, he misses one flick, but the chance he'll miss the next 2 or 3 is very unlikely. So just smoke him off. Don't deal with him in that way. C is just going to take an easy kill on Legia, but it'll be too late. This is a big deal. Na'Vi might be able to survive off of these 2 rifles and just buy FAMASs on the rest. I'd be shocked if they don't do that, in fact. But they have their backs against the wall. This is a big blow that Mousesports just dealt.
Oh, this was perfect here. Tabson in particular, man. Looking at him. Zeus, I mean, Starix makes it a 1-for-1, okay, but Zeus needs to get 1 as well. And he needs to turn it into a 3-on-3 for his teammates. And the fact that Zeus just gets overwhelmed instantly by Tabson, that was just as good as it gets there for Mousesports in that scenario. And Guardian, actually, Na'Vi having quite a bit of money to put into this round. Much more than I thought they would, based off of just, holding on to 2 rifles.
Yeah, Starix had a really good bank, so that made the big difference. Almost 5,000 on him. Molotov. All right, it hit the wall. It looked for a second like it bounced off of his face. Or and maybe that he shot it away. Oh, look at this. Na'Vi, Stark's been flashed in. And that's what Legia didn't do when he was pushing on the CT side. So smart work from Na'Vi. Just very basic stuff. And they get the kill on Legia down on the A ramp as well, which means now this Mousesports push, which was supposed to be a bit of a surprise after the A push sort of went in, is now not going to be working anywhere near as well, I imagine. Seized could get picked off here. And actually, that's maybe going to allow them a bomb plant, which will still be good news. But Alu dies in the middle. And now the game is kind of up here.
Still a bomb plant that's about to go down. Peek there behind that flash. Mousesports working really well together right now. Molotov to buy some more time, however, and Starks is out on this site, gets flashed white, but now the rotation coming in. He's got a mate to back him up. Chris J's going to remove him from the map, and Chris J with the double takes out Edward. We're into a 2-on-2. Tabson will find Zeus on the flank, and Chris J picks up Guardian. Mousesports annihilate Na'Vi, and Na'Vi, they no longer have anything to go on. They're going to be able to force it because they have to. But those 2 rounds, I mean, those rounds were just fantastic for Mousesports. Chris J in particular, that round.
don't think anyone was counting on Chris J just going Super Saiyan. That was... What was that? How did he get up 4 kills? They were in a 2-on-4, and they had only just put down the bomb, and Na'Vi even knew what was happening because they killed off the A part of that push. That was just a great round from Chris J. Absolutely beautiful. Well, Starix gets the shot through on Chris, who wanted to peek at the edge of the smoke, and this is not looking good for Mousesports. This time, it's a very different scenario from the last one. They don't even have a bomb down. They're not even making any progress on the map, in fact. Tabson looking for the shot in the middle, but Na'Vi just making it work all over the place. But this is still a 14-6 scoreline. Mousesports, they should win this map.
Oh, wow. Down to 5 HP for Zeus. But that time, it worked out much better there for Na'Vi. Alu got picked off very early in the apartments by Zeus, and then Starix, of course, with his pick on Chris J. So that's about, again, you know, that time it does work out the early aggression from Na'Vi, but also the aggressive positioning there from Starix. In both cases, actually plays out very well there for Na'Vi. Mousesports getting a little ahead of themselves, perhaps, but Mousesports still have bank. I mean, Chris J's still sitting on 8K, and there's good money on the team, so they can keep the pressure up on Na'Vi. Na'Vi, all of the pressure is on them right now because every dollar counts.
Oh. Almost gets that timing. The grenade hits the rail and doesn't hit Guardian. Follow-up smoke here is going to work out, and Tabson will take him down with a headshot through. That's got to really be annoying to him. Edward wants to come in for the revenge, but he's not going to take the fight just yet. Maybe he can coordinate it with Zeus here so they can both peek at the same time once the smoke is gone. Wouldn't be such a bad idea. But you are right. All the pressure is on them, and it looks like it's going to be an A push. So I'm wondering what Chris is doing. Yeah, actually, this is kind of cool. Chris just went and looked in the apartments, made sure no one was backstabbing them, and now they go back, because he was just checking the B apartments. But now they're all back towards A, and actually Na'Vi have a horrendous setup to deal with this incoming A push. Starix here is not enough.
Yeah, it depends on the smokes and how they shape up, but Alu picking off Zeus and CPL to start is not going to help things here, certainly. Starix, a little bit late on the molly as well. They're already going to be past that point here for Mousesports. They're going to get out onto this site. Nades are already raining in. They have one more HE on Michaelele. We'll see when he... Oh, he's still in mid, so he's not going to be able to use it, but Alu is here with it. They could just nade Starix into oblivion right now.
Bomb planted in a very open position, and it's a 2-on-4, but they kind of have to go for it. They're going to be giving map point. And they don't have any tools or anything. So, I mean, saving the rifles and fighting for 9 rounds in a row to get overtime, that's what they're doing right here. And Starix is going to be alone. They won't even save the rifles. And Na'Vi, God, Mousesports, they're playing well right now. Tabs them with that triple kill. And the decision to go back to A. For Na'Vi to have held that push, they would have needed people inside the bomb site once the smokes went down. They were so far away, and it would have been different. Look, if it hadn't been Starix in the back, if it had been someone with an AWP or an auto sniper, it would have been maybe acceptable, because that guy can get some really good entry frags. But Starix, there's just not much he can do at that point. There really isn't.
He's pinned behind the boxes, and he loses his support in Zeus early as well.
Yeah.
That's the real thing, is that Zeus going down is basically confirmation for
Sean
Mousesports. But yeah, the Sean Gears play. There's the shot. There's the headshot. Could he get for another one? He could. I mean, he's trying to change up the angle. Goes for it, but Alu this time. 1-for-1 trade there. That's all he's going to get. But Edward is still alive on short. Edward with a double frag of his own. And Mousesports, again, they could get stopped cold.
Yeah, especially because there's a guy coming up from underpass as well who's going to catch Tabson right there. That's Guardian. Edward spraying away, and it's going to get taken down by Alu, who's also being backstabbed. I'm not sure why he's not realizing that. Maybe a little bit of lapse of communication or just too much information going in all at once here. But Na'Vi will win the round. They still need to win another 7 in a row here to get to overtime. At least Mousesports don't have that great of an economy, so it won't be 7 straight buy rounds from Mousesports.
No, it won't. Now they're in a position where they could eco in the next round. But then they've started to, well, yeah, they could actually have to eco here. They might not get enough on the bonus. But there you go. Double tag at mid, top mid. But Chris J still manages to find the headshot on Zeus.
Oh, Starwix and Edward putting in some work. Yeah, and I think Legia jumped for Michaelele. He wanted him to take a shot at Legia so that Michaelele could peek out and get a return frag with the AWP. Just didn't work out. That's kind of painful. You give up your life for your friend, and then he doesn't even do his job.
This is a little painful as well here because Tabson just barely misses out on Edward. So Edward's going to be able to sneak back. Na'Vi are going to manage to maintain that two-man lead here. And
I think we're paused.
Yeah, we do have a pause coming in, it looks like.
So that's going to make it potentially 9 to 15. Still some distance away. If they force overtime at this point, that That's going to be devastating to Mousesports.
There's no way, though. I mean, you still have at least 3 buy rounds.
There's a will, there's a way somewhere.
Sure. And Na'Vi, if ever a team could do it, Na'Vi could. But still, like Mousesports, they still have 3 buy rounds. 3 buy rounds to be able to get something going, as well as once they lose like the 4 or 5 in a row.
Yeah.
They are going to be able to just buy every round practically, so they can really keep the pressure up on Na'Vi. Eventually, Na'Vi, they may cave to just a straight rush. Go for a B rush where Seas doesn't have a scout to slow you down, right?
Yeah, but the thing is, if they win just a few rounds in a row and Seas gets enough money for an auto sniper, then that B defense is gonna change quite a lot.
Yeah, that's true.
I would love to see Mousesports go for the kind of push that Na'Vi did, like either the straight push or the delayed push. I don't really care which, but for the B bomb side before Seas can afford an auto sniper, that could be fun. Because it worked really well, and generally it works really well. And if Seas is only going to have an M4A1 to deal with it, it's not really quite enough. Not necessarily, anyway.
It's not ideal, that's for sure. It's not ideal. But then Edward also playing on short has shown that he's also capable of just stepping up when he needed. Quick rotations out there from Guardian as well. I mean, it's tough when you talk about the Na'Vi defense because they really have played this map quite a bit. They know it very well, and the rotations can happen very quick and clean for them. So Mousesports, I'm almost wondering if they just need to go for a standard smoke round. Like, just save up, get everybody all the gear they need, and then just go for a standard A smoke round. And, just try and take it that way.
They could. They have 6 rounds left to play with if they lose this one, and we're assuming they will lose this 2-on-4.
I'm curious, actually, do they try and play off of the fact that Na'Vi have been playing aggressive on A as well? Like Starks getting close to pit several rounds now. Do they try and see if they can't get an early pick on him before deciding to go anywhere? I mean, you leave Alu there with the AWP, you leave a rifle there to back him, and then you get mid control a little bit at the top. Smoke off window, get a little bit of mid control. There's
definitely options. And because they have 6 rounds left to play with, I mean, they can try a few different things. But I'd say overtime is not. It's not as ridiculous anymore. I mean, Mousesports definitely favored to win it, but again, it's Na'Vi, and they're definitely a strong team on this map. So
there's no doubt.
Wouldn't be completely shocked if it happens.
I'm wondering about Guardian. Guardian, does he come into play in a big way here? I mean, so far he's actually been managing to pick up some good frags at mid.
He's been doing an all right job, but he's not had it. It hasn't been like the Guardian factor that's been deciding things right now for Na'Vi. Definitely not. Right now, it's more of like combined team effort. I actually say the people playing A, and as you were talking about, like close to the A ramp, they've been doing a really fine job of picking people off. I think that's had more of an impact on Na'Vi winning rounds recently than anything else. And
Starks and Zeus working well together. When Starks and Zeus do work well together, like we're seeing right now, that's when Na'Vi look at indomitable. That's when they look at their best. So that's why I could potentially get behind you with the whole comeback sort of scenario. Because if Starks and Zeus, they start actually getting in there seized, if you can get some kills. I don't feel like we saw this like we've seen since the Seas that we saw. That's that Fateful Star series where Na'Vi took it and Seas was like the man of the tournament.
That's true.
Na'Vi Starks, that was a combo there, that Star series where, the Na'Vi Starks, right? The Stark-Zeus combination. Between the two of them, they had just a sick number of clutch rounds. Yeah. So do they actually come alive here and manage to do what needs doing here for Na'Vi to make sure that they don't get knocked down into the lower bracket?
Yeah. So another thing to consider, which is that as Mousesports is surely using this slightly annoying break that we've going on to try and figure out, how do they get the last round in? You can bet you Na'Vi's trying to guess at what they're going to be doing as well, because if you can go aggressive in the A apartments or just go, like they've already done it once where they flash themselves into the A ramp and get some pickups there. If they can pick the right rounds through that, then all of a sudden Mousesports are stuck in a weird position where instead of playing their own game and worrying about how to finish the game, they get stuck at trying to work around Na'Vi's aggression. And that can be really frustrating as well. So, I mean, there's a bunch of stuff that can still go wrong for Mousesports, apart from just not finding the right strat. Also, just having the focus to actually finish the game and not focusing on Na'Vi being super annoying. I think we're maybe switching the servers around a little bit. Yeah. So that's just gonna take a few minutes for us to get back into. So we do, of course, apologize for that. Spend your time in the meantime. Go and check out fragbite.sc. For news and everything else. Do that. And at the end of the day, you can go and check out the play of the day as well. We'll remind you later what it's all about. It's a very cool concept, so definitely worth it. Yeah. Big thanks to Comhem for making that one possible. 25k sec. So. Yeah, the clip we showed yesterday actually was Mike Kaleli's USP Madness at Nova Pass. There were a lot of really cool candidates from yesterday, so I mean you can check those out as well on the site. Don't forget about that. That's when it's all going to happen as well. It's going to be on fragbite.sc. So you guys can follow all the social media, Facebook and etc. Fragbite M for Fragbite Masters, and also fragbite.sc for all the news. But
those are the big things. I mean, basically, that's what everything is running off of right now. Guys, right now we're kind of just twiddling our thumbs, waiting for this update to happen here, so we can get this match underway. Because basically, Mousesports are on the brink; they're on the edge of taking the first map in this best of 3. And if Mousesports can actually take this, they beat Na'Vi on Overpass yesterday, and Overpass is the map, the second map in this best of 3 series. Mousesports, if they were to take out Na'Vi here on Mirage, they could have a very good shot at taking them out 2-0 and having a huge upset.
I would say, like I said, I think I would be more comfortable if Na'Vi win Mirage and Overpass. I'm a little bit worried seeing Na'Vi playing on Dust 2 against Mousesports. But so actually it does scare me a little bit that they're already sort of this far behind.
I am kind of curious about the whole Michael thing though on Dust 2, seeing as how, you know, obviously recent addition to the team. They've probably been pracking as much as they can with all the official matches that they've had to play. But, you know, have they had any time to come up with anything clever?
Well, I mean, that's the thing.
2?
That's why Dust 2 is, I mean, I would have said that would have had more of an impact on Mirage then.
Sure.
I mean, Dust 2 is more of a map where you can just throw in any old player and say, play this position, and it's probably going to be, pretty standard.
Yeah.
Like
Michael though, is one of those players who's always done really well on Mirage in particular.
Yeah.
Like the new version of Mirage, this goes way back to like LGB, when they were all kind of running around and basically being huge nuisances. Like, I mean, it wasn't like the Dennis era for LGB where they just had like these double pushes and everything like that all around the map, but it was still definitely like that brand of aggression. I feel actually ties in really well with how Mousesports want to play. Like Michael is a good fit for Mousesports.
Yeah.
So that's, and on a map like Mirage's in particular, you know, going way back there, it's just like he's got the experience.
Yeah.
So
and he's been looking for a home, right?
He has.
And he's had a hard time finding it amongst Swedish teams. So actually, maybe this is just what Mousesports has become. It's like the place you go when you can't find anyone in your own country you want to play with. You go to Mousesports. Alu the same, you know.
Well, Mousesports,
because it's not like, I mean, especially with how well 3D Max have been playing recently, right?
Yeah.
It feels like, you know, not that you want to kick anyone from 3D Max, especially not when they're doing so well, but it just kind of feels like you could make like a Finnish superstar team at this point. Like that's definitely a possibility where you get like all the madmen from the Finnish scene and put them in one team. But then, you know, Alu has you always wonder, you know, why isn't he in like one of the top Finnish, you know, or the top Finnish team? But because he's in Mousesports, you know, Legia, how many Serbian players does he feel like he can play with? Maybe not that many.
Probably not. I mean,
actually, Guardian would be the perfect fit for Mousesports. Just thinking about it that way, just because he's like the only Slovakian.
To me, like Mousesports is now like the poster team for the international, you know, the international scene. You know, it's like for anybody who feels like no to patriotism or no, you know, like to cheering for my own country or whatever. You know, it's just like I'm gonna cheer for Mousesports because they represent everybody, man. Yeah. Mousesports are like the world's team. They're not you know just about one country. They're about the whole picture.
We just need to steal some American players, bring them over, and have them live here.
Yeah, man. Steel went back, but he's not even
Canadian.
American. He's Canadian.
Yeah.
Where's the North American team? Where's the North American players out, man? Bring the freedom.
Well, they're gonna have a chance to boot camp here in Stockholm for DreamHack Winter, which is very cool.
Yeah, that's gonna be sick. Cloud9, I'm sure they're gonna be able to jump on that now. Now that they know that they're gonna have boot camp support.
They've already been tweeting about it. I mean, the players have. I'm guessing the organization still needs to actually sign some sort of document that says they're off to go, but that would be very cool.
But this is something that they've been wanting for a long time. So it's like having an actual, like, say, like a month to a month and a half where they can just sit in Europe and boot camp on good ping, you know, versus European teams. Can you imagine Cloud9? I don't even think going into, well, that's the thing, right? Going into Gamescom, Cloud9 actually had really, you know, actually kind of rough boot camp circumstances. Like they didn't have much time with it. You know, they had just a few days. They lost some time with like gear and whatnot like that as well. So it wasn't like an ideal boot camp, and they still actually performed really well, only to get taken out by Nip, right? And, you know, who went on to win the whole thing. Yeah. So not even that much of a shame there. You lose to the champion.
It wasn't that long ago that they got picked up by the Cloud9 organization either. So I'm guessing there was like a lot of transfer stuff going on as well, where, you know, they got to get ready for everything else. So, you know, yeah, I think the Cloud9 team definitely was underprepared for Gamescom, and they still played incredibly well. So, and,
you know, from what we hear, it's still kind of, you know, touch and go getting, you know, proper prac in the States and everything like that. So,
yeah,
you know,
although to be honest, I mean, one thing that's really exciting about the American scene right now is the amount of up and coming teams that are actually looking pretty strong. Yeah. Netcode Guides, reliable, Mobility Gaming, even. I mean, there's like a bunch of different sort of, I'm going to call them like second tier teams if you want, but they're showing promise, and they're playing regularly a lot. So it's kind of cool.
It's something to look forward to, man. We're looking for that global scene again, right? You know, Europe, now NA.
Next time,
Asia, you know, Japan.
SIA region, Southeast Asia, and then, that's what we need. more global. I mean, it's global offensive after all.
Yeah, exactly. It's got to live up to the name.
Yeah, makes sense.
Got to make it happen. But then we're saying that, but then really, what the goal is for all those teams to actually like move to Europe, and just boot camp in Europe, and then it's just gonna be like, yeah, we're totally global guys, in this group of countries.
Well, you got to get them before the Koreans start playing and just beat everyone.
Yeah.
Wonder if that could happen for FPS games.
Why not, right? I mean, work ethic. What it comes down to is just work ethic.
Yeah, maybe.
And an insane drive, and also an insane infrastructure. Just the perfect infrastructure, in fact, for this sort of thing in South Korea. So when you look at it for like those, Brood War, carrying it over from Brood War into StarCraft 2 into League of Legends now, it's like no secret really why the South Koreans are just at a whole different levels, because their work ethic is unparalleled, just incredible. Well, they're machines.
Yeah.
Well, it's not. They're not machines. I mean, they're people. But it's just like the way that they work and focus and apply themselves is just.
The North Koreans, not so much. Their StarCraft scene's going really badly.
Yeah, I think
it's not the same.
Do they have internet?
I don't know. I heard that their leaders had gone missing. So.
Yeah, I heard this as well.
Yeah, really strange
It's
times.
full out 1984 over there, man. That's a scary.
It really is.
That's a really scary situation. And now apparently it's his sister running the show. I mean,
it's hard to keep up. It's hard to trust what kind of news comes out of there. So, guys, if you're just joining us, then we do apologize for talking about everything other than Counter-Strike. It's because we're just a little bit delayed. We're switching the servers because the other server had an issue. So now we're getting onto a better server, and we should be back in just a few minutes here.
Yeah.
Current score is 15-9 in favor of Mousesports, who are on the terror side of Mirage right here. And should be looking to close out the game and try and avoid playing in overtime. Because I'm pretty sure once it gets to overtime, there are certain teams that just generally fare better. And I would say Na'Vi is one of them. Like some of the teams that have a lot of experience or just even experienced players do better in overtime. Like I would always worry about facing a team like Na'Vi or Virtus Pro or NIP or something like that in overtime. I think that's always scary.
Yeah, okay. There's the experience there, right? You always wonder, it's like sometimes those teams, they struggle to close out a game, but when it clicks over into overtime, it just gets reset and they just slam you. I'm thinking maybe there's actually a real chance here, because I'm not sure, but Mousesports may have to eco in the next round. It's kind of fuzzy as to like how much money they have, but I think they might just be floating around like the 3K mark if they come out of this.
I think as far as I remember, I think they're going to be ecoing. So
yeah, so it's like the Na'Vi managed to run it back a little bit further. Then we have a buy round from Mousesports, potential eco buy round. It's actually only a couple of rounds here where Mousesports are going to have a real crack at closing this game.
Yeah. That's pretty much what it is. It's not. It's definitely not said and done yet. Speaking of, of Virtus Pro though, they actually lost to Hellraisers over at the LAN. Hellraisers beat Virtus Pro to get in.
Simple is looking really good, man. Ever since he's joined up on that team, he's been looking very scary.
Kid's 17 years old, and he's just playing like a superstar. It's really, really incredible.
Goes to a LAN and just proves himself like, come at me now, basically. Hellraisers are going to be. That's fantastic.
I'm super happy. Yeah, I already am. It's super exciting to see Hellraisers play at that level. So hopefully they'll keep it up until DreamHack Winter.
So basically, Na'Vi, we could be looking at Hellraisers actually picking up a title right there today. If Na'Vi didn't have that extra map, that map advantage to play with.
Yeah. Na'Vi won the first map, then Hellraisers took the next two. So in best of 3, that would have been it. But best of 5 with 1 map lead is a really good format anyway. So Na'Vi, it's not like they didn't fairly win it. They came through the upper bracket and everything. It's still fun times. And having LAN finals in general is always good, which by the way Fragby does this season. So we're still in the group stage, of course, and eventually we're going to hit the playoffs, which is double elimination. So you have upper and lower bracket, and the top 4 teams they get flown here, and we play.
Yeah.
LAN, and we haven't even seen the setup yet, but we're gonna show you guys some news on that too. It's gonna be fun, a lot of fun.
That's gonna be so sick, especially after last time. It was all online. Now it's that's it, man. 4 teams, everybody gonna be here. It's gonna be awesome. Well,
I actually got a chance to play with the new settings today, with the with the acceleration and with the tagging and everything.
What'd you make of it?
I only played like 30 seconds on our service, or like 30 minutes on our service PC. So that's like I need to play especially because I haven't been playing for the last month and a half at all. So I need a lot more time to get back into it, I think. But to me, it felt a little bit like I was walking around in water, there was like some
Feels
sort of
like you're waiting.
Yeah, exactly. Like waiting through water. It's really a little bit strange, but I think I could get used to it. And it's not like a horrible thing. It's just there's like that difference. Felt a little bit strange.
Yeah, it's just like you get tagged, and then you know, not only are you feeling a little bit, you know, you do feel like the lag a little bit, but now you get tagged as well, and then all of a sudden it can get really, well, HE's tagging.
Oh, in other news, do you guys see that? Do you see that Season has been released by FM
Yeah, and it looks like a Japanese pharmaceutical company now.
Yeah, it's lovely. I like the
beautiful.
Nice, yeah, really good work. But I haven't tried and played it yet. I've only looked at it on my cellular phone that I've been living off of for a while.
No, what looks really cool about the map is that it's very bright.
Yeah,
very bright.
I
all
love
over
that.
the place. Not a whole lot of dark spots at all. Like a lot of white paneling, a lot of light gray paneling. So
Don't need
models
dark
are really
spots at
going
all.
to pop out. You know,
There's nothing more frustrating than dark spots on any map.
Yeah,
I'm just not a big fan of it. And if it were up to me, older maps would just have like white walls, so it would just be
just very, very clear, right?
Yeah.
But then it
Cut
wouldn't
and
be
dry.
pretty, man. That's so important. It has to be pretty. I mean, then, you know, well, actually, then the skins would even look sicker, right? Because, you know, if the rest of the world is drab.
they'd stand out. It might be hard to sell it to new players. You know, why are they playing in this white box? I don't understand. But it would be nice. It'd be like a great contrast with the players.
Well, that's how you work it, right? You know, it's like this is nouveau minimalism, right? You know, this is the new direction the games are taking. Battlefield and all that ultra realism. Nah, that's a thing of the past. Now we go back to our roots, just clean.
I saw that somebody released a Minecraft mod for Counter-Strike, so you can play Counter-Strike in Minecraft. Apparently, it looked great.
Minecraft
looked like
is
Quake
one of those sick games though, where you can just like create anything pretty much.
Yeah,
and it's just like, okay, I have this idea, I'm gonna go do it. Like that Minecraft is pretty dope. Although I just kind of like ran around and built a house on a hill. And I just spent a lot of time like mining things.
I've never played Minecraft.
I played. Like, it was funny. This is actually like what, a year ago. The good studio where like Wepas and I were playing a bit. We were like just bored basically. We were just like, what can we play? And then it was like Minecraft. Like, okay, let's like see if we can get into it, right? And we, you know, Wepas actually really got into it. I played for like a couple of days and I was like, yeah, I just built a house. Okay, I'm gonna go back to play some like Dota now or something, you know? Like
yeah, I kind of understand it. Like, it's cool because I've watched like, a couple of videos where someone does like builds like, you know, the Enterprise from Star Trek.
Exactly,
or
like just huge like
something really amazing. Then I think I will never have the time to do this. I don't have the time, so why even try? Mine would just be like a really tiny hut in like a hole in the ground.
Exactly. Hell, man, my thing was like, yeah, it was like a 2-room house, like a giant, you know, like stairs and whatnot, and even just that, it was just like this took an insane amount of time. So even just like a house on a hill, how long do, you know, there's massive structures that these people actually.
But that's depressing. If anything, I want like something that's better than what I have in real life. Otherwise, you know, why am I doing this, right?
That view. Apparently, our producer installed Minecraft and built the highest tower that he could. That was his achievement. Yeah. That sums up Nicholas's life.
Yeah, Nicholas, what was the shape of this tower? I wonder.
Was it Nicki Minaj shaped?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. Let's not continue on this path at all. That's a really elaborate question. So we're being asked if we could play like one map in Counter-Strike, and it was like for $100,000, and we had to pick 4 players, and they could only play with one weapon. Who would we pick and why? That's a really elaborate question. I don't know. You're tempted to just pick like the best aimers. I mean, it's kind of like what we did DreamHack, where we had Thorin and Lurpus pick their teams, and I think Lurpus's team ended up winning.
Do we have to play on the teams, or is it just like we just cut 4 players?
4 players. So yeah, we have to play too.
Oh man, that's really rough.
I don't know. I mean, that's a little bit too. I'm picking Simple, so you can't, because he's too good. So
you're picking Simple, but he's an opper. So your weapon is going to be an op then?
Yeah.
You're going to go with an op?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going, yeah. Wait, so 1 player, 1 weapon, 4 copies of him, or 4 players?
4 individual players,
bro.
Yeah?
4 individual players. Okay,
4 different weapons.
I'll have, in that case, I'll have, let's see. I'll have Kaylee, Shoxy.
Yeah, you can only pick one at a time. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense.
Oh, we have to go back and forth?
Yeah.
Oh, come on. Okay, I'll pick up Shoxy then first.
You'll pick Shoxy. Oh, I'm going to go with Get Right then.
Yeah? Okay, I'll take Kaylee.
Who's next? I'm going to pick up Device.
Device. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll take snacks.
All right. So I just need one more to finish my team. It's too tempting. You got to pick Forest. It's too tempting.
You're going to go with Forest.
Yeah. You can't like.
And you're going ops as well, man.
They don't all have to be orbs.
Oh, one weapon, man. One weapon.
No. Different weapons. That's what he said.
Oh, can we have different weapons then?
Yeah.
I thought it was one weapon. Okay, damn, this changes up. Like, well, no, Kaylee can still op, so I'll take Kaylee for the MVP.
Yeah, you're fine.
Shoxy,
Shoxy
and Snack. Those guys mess people up with AKs. I can go with that. Shoxy will call, right?
Yeah.
I'll just kind of lurk. I'll play like a Fiflaurin roll where I'll just kind of I'll kind of lurk and just throw some flashes and smokes. I'm okay with that. I don't need the glory. I can let Snacks and Kaylee take that sort of stuff, and then maybe to tie it all up.
Simple.
Yeah, he had simple.
Definitely. Still
Tie it all up. I think you need like the clutch master extraordinaire, so I'm gonna go with Hiko.
I actually forgot about the American players altogether. That's a bit of a mistake.
What's up, Anders? Get on my level.
Yeah.
I've got Shoxy and Hiko on my team.
Yeah, that's pretty scary.
And Snacks is like the mind
Yeah.
games, man. The mind games are gonna be
Actually, Snacks is like a really solid pick. I'm really scared. I'm like Snacks really work. Like it really.
Are you saying that you're scared to face my team now?
Yeah, and I'm just like I'm just all deeply concerned about how Snacks can have as good timing as he can.
Exactly.
Do you remember
like 3 clutch players right there?
Have you ever
Shoxy,
watched-
Kaylee too.
You ever watch Starship Troopers?
Yeah.
So there's like at one point in the movie, there's probably a book as well, which is probably even better. But in the movie anyway, they do like tests on people to figure out if they have like psychic abilities, so they guess cards and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I feel like Snacks could be pretty good at this. Like,
Snacks would be the guy who like actually gets the drop on the ferret, right?
Yeah.
Because he like go and there's like a grub on the mum's leg or something like that, right?
Yeah.
That's what Snacks would be doing.
He has like
my last player is
timing.
Hiko.
All right.
All of my players, Kaylee, Shox, Snacks, Hiko, and of course,
Yourself.
yeah.
That's it. We'll never get to test it out, but we can try.
So what's going on with this? What
Apparently
is this about? Because
still-
apparently we're fielding teams here.
I don't know.
This is like the dream team. I would actually love that team because there's like a lot of, there's some good team play there. There's some good team play. Shoxy can tie it all together, right, with the mid-round calls. I'll just say, like general stuff going off of, Forrest will probably play this position, all that sort of stuff, right? Of course, all the players know that as well, so it's not that huge. But
No, I would be on my team. I'm the captain. Nobody gets to make any calls for that.
What?
I have no doubt about that.
You're gonna override actually
course.
Forrest and Get Right. Yeah, they don't like to call, so you're actually in a pretty decent position. Hold on, who
Yeah.
else? You had Simple, right? He's not gonna call. Who else did you have?
Forrest and Get
You
Right,
had
Simple.
Forrest, Get Right, Simple.
And who was my last pick? Why
Who was
can I
your
not
last
remember?
pick?
Did I pick someone else?
Yeah, I don't think you actually picked somebody else. Oh, Device. That's right. You had Device.
Yeah, there we go. All right.
Okay. Dude, my team destroys your team. I'm sorry. Like it just there's no fight.
No,
there.
not with me calling. Trust me. It's like
you've got some good Device can AWP. He's like they're definitely Device
the
has got
thing is
some sick individual play.
the thing is with Simple, we may have some language issues on my team. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to work that out. My
Yeah, you're gonna be using radio commands.
yeah, stuff like that. My Russian, I think, extends to saying yes and peace, which are not really words that we're going to be using that much.
Duh.
Yeah.
Spasibo?
Yeah.
Oh no, Spasibo. What is Spasibo again?
I don't know.
Spasibo is like thanks, I think. Or
I know
hello?
Mira
No,
is
thanks.
peace, like the space station.
No, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So that's
So-
it. That's what I know.
Looking at these teams, I think if any of your guys on your team decide to opt, Kaylee obliterates them. And then Shoxy,
maybe.
well, maybe Device. Device could probably go toe to toe with Kaylee.
Too much theory crafting, man. We're gonna have to play it out one day.
Yeah,
and figure it out.
hell,
That's the
one
only
day
way
if
to
we can
solve it.
actually get like a LAN event, where we have we're able to just get these players involved, that would be sick. I would love to do that.
All right.
But this is
How
when you
far
need the
along?
fantasy league, right? This is the
fantasy
fantasy league stuff, right? Where
Yeah.
we have like the Fragbrite Masters Fantasy League, and we actually, have these players.
Actually, that's not a bad idea.
What's up?
Yeah, we could already set that up at one point. We have 9
Yeah.
people on the server, guys. So we're 10 people now. So we should be going into any second.
This is the way we got to do. This is what we got to do. You got to hashtag FBM Semler or hashtag FBM Anders. Which lineup you guys think actually wins?
But that doesn't solve anything.
Well, bam! Then we
That's-
just search the hashtags and see who that we sell it by vote.
No, we got to play it out. Otherwise, it doesn't make any sense. That's the only way to solve it. Fantasy League could maybe be fun. That could be a fun way to settle it.
I would it feels like you that's like an actually kind of like an opportunity, right? It's just some some guys come in for a site and then they just have, you know, like the fantasy league, you know, and then certain leagues actually tie into it. So like the bigger leagues like DreamHack, ESL, you know, Fragbite, ESCA, you know, like those bigger leagues, right? And then you just follow your players and the points and all that stuff. I mean, that would be another thing that's actually, I think, maybe even healthier than betting is just, you know, a constant fantasy site where you're able to just, you know, pick your team for that season, and every season lasts 3 months or something like that, right? And then, you know, you tally it up and then win prizes or something like that, like in-game skins maybe, or you know, going back to the skins. But this way, it's like, you know, it's just off of your fantasy team.
It would also focus the rage of the community onto a very like specific players, because, you know, if that one player does badly, then you can.
Yeah, but look at how popular this stuff is for like American football, like, you know, NFL, like true. That, like the fantasy league, ESPN, like the thing is huge. Like the guy who created that thing is like a multimillionaire, like 1,000 times over. Like he's just filthy rich.
Let's do it.
Fantasy league. There you go. Run with it. Somebody come up with the idea. Like, you know, just go and actually put it into practice, because that's like a sick idea right there.
Yeah, we could do it. Maybe. That
could be a lot of fun. Like, if I would actually want to watch, you know, like, it would be another incentive on top of just watching the games. You know, you're just like, oh, you know, Kaylee's on my team. I'm going to watch now how Titan do.
He's failing horribly. Why is this not working?
Why am I like,
Where's his Facebook so I can insult him after the game?
But then you actually have, like, fantasy points maybe for, like, how many times does Snacks sneak through a smoke? Actually, say that 5 times fast. Snacks sneaks through a smoke. Yeah, okay, you can do it. But, you know, how many times do you do that in a match, right? You get bonus points or something like that, right? You could have, like, individual player stats and points.
All right. Yeah, there's potential. All right, look, so after a really long break of us rambling, it looks like we're finally getting back into it, and it is going to be 15-8. So, actually, I think they must have restarted that round from the 2-on-4 position. That's a little bit unfortunate for Na'Vi, but let's see if they can come out again. Sees this with a scout in the middle, and he's going to be missing a couple of shots here. Did land some damage onto Chris, but it's going to be smoked off. And Zeus is coming in to help out, trying to see if he can look over the smoke. But Guardian is also being forced back here. I mean, Mousesports are actually finding a lot of good positions right now. They got to get up these kills, and Chris will take down Guardian, and that's a big loss.
Oh, seized. He gets that second shot on Chris J, though. Changed up the position on the map, but the bomb will be planted in Alu. Potential backstab position for him.
Oh, yeah, this is a really big position. But I think he's been found out. Yeah, Zeus must have heard him. So now he's occupied looking elsewhere instead of focusing on retaking the site. Look, everyone's actually looking behind them. Alu, without even doing anything, has just been causing a huge distraction on the Na'Vi side. And they got to make a move on here. Finally, they take down Legia. Alu coming up from behind, misses the opportunity to kill Edward. And now this is not so easy anymore. He's going to be charging in, but he gets taken down by Seized. And Na'Vi, they win the round anyway. And they actually survive with 4 members, just like they would have in the other round, probably. So overall, it still looks good for Na'Vi. The one difference is Mousesports got the bomb down, and as you can tell, that gave them a little bit more money than they otherwise would have had, but they're still going to be ecoing. So 6 rounds in a row here for Na'Vi, and they get the overtime. If not, then Mousesports win the first map.
Yeah, this changes a lot for Mousesports, though. I love that Chris J goes for the Tech 9. That's really cool right there. But also, Mousesports now have money for the next buy round and the one after that as well. Yeah. So that's going to be huge, as far as, you know, them being able to really put out pressure on Na'Vi and have a better chance of picking up those rounds. But now it's just going to be, again, Edward. Only man here, actually, Edward. And this is a stack on A. Oh, this could be big if they can sneak through fast enough. Chris J got the information.
Yeah, now they're pushing on, and this AK's got 15 or 17 bullets left, and Tamsin's going to take him down. And now, unfortunately, Alu goes down, sneaking in through the A-bomb site, so there's going to be no backstab. Grenade and a Molotov wasted as well here in the kitchen. I mean, it's a kitchen, but you know we want to set it on fire like this, and now they're actually in a bad position here. Zeus is going to go down. Na'Vi, what are you doing? Legia takes down Seized, and Na'Vi stack the A-bomb site. They lose Edward, and the whole map just falls apart. 69 for Mousesports.
Shells are clearly OP. Like, 2 nades, an HE and a Molly just going to waste completely, and actually delaying the push further there for Na'Vi. The retake further with that incendiary. Just
Gordon Ramsay would have been furious.
You don't actually light the kitchen on fire when you flambe something.
I think people have done that in Hell's Kitchen, and they really get scolded. They get thrown out and stuff like that. We have the recap for you guys, so let's check it out. What a crazy first map here on Mirage. And I mean, Mousesports admittedly have been playing really well. I think this is the only round where now we've really sort of made a serious mistake. I can get behind Edward being kind of alone there, but I have no idea why they were so solid in that A-bomb site. I mean, maybe it's one of those things like we were talking about. Na'Vi were trying to guess what Mousesports were doing, and they guessed wrong. Horribly wrong.
Exactly. I mean, well, yeah, exactly. Mousesports going back to the same site twice in a row. It's those gambles. This time around, gamble actually works out. I mean, a lot of situations actually panned out for Na'Vi in the first half.
Yeah.
Because of, you can call it, bad luck, like turning away at the last second, these sorts of things. Several rounds in a row, it actually went south for Mousesports. So this time around, Mousesports, they play it right. Na'Vi with the wrong guess, and it goes in their hands. So Mousesports on an eco round to boot, and here we are talking about how they're gonna have money for 2 buy rounds and everything, and then Mousesports is just like, we're gonna cut to the chase here and actually just get onto the site.
I don't know. This second half featured some weird stuff. I mean, this last round was pretty strange, but there was the one round where Chris managed to get a quad kill, and they won it in a 2-on-4 as well. So, I mean, that was surprising too. But that gives Mousesports a 1-map lead. The second map is going to be Overpass, and the deciding one will be Dust 2 if it goes to it. But before we get into it, we're going to have a quick break, guys. So don't go anywhere. Still got Overpass coming up. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Nu är nya Casumo.com här. Just nu får du dubbelt på kontot och 110 gratis chanser att vinna storkovan. Casumo, ett kasino. Casumo.com.
Tja! Välkommen till Estrella Lifehacks. Idag tänkte jag visa hur man gör en snygg skål av sin chipspåse. Ta kanterna längst ner och sen rullar du liksom uppåt. Typ så. Så kan du placera den vart du vill. En skål med sour cream and onion. Finns det något godare?
We've been looking all over for you. didn't win.
You sexy beast. 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 You sexy beast.
All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here to the third season of Fragbite Masters. We've got Navi and Mousesports playing in a best of three, and we've gone to the second map, which is going to be Overpass, and Mousesports ended up winning on the first one on 16-9. So yeah, Semler's busy eating our sponsors' products. It's not why they sent them, man.
I thought I had more time.
Oh, God.
Sorry about that, guys. I know.
No.
I can think of a few things that would be more annoying than listening to me crunch on chips on a microphone, but...
Yeah, thanks to Estrella for sending us chips. That's great. Semler, that didn't go as I had expected on Mirage. It truly didn't. I thought Na'Vi were going to make it out.
For both of us, man.
Yeah.
For both of us. I thought the Na'Vi had an edge as well, honestly.
Yeah.
But when they lost that, I mean, it's really fun how it played out, how it all played out, actually, because in the first half, Na'Vi won some crucial rounds to get them those 6 rounds to start, right? And you're thinking, okay, this is looking very solid already.
Yeah.
But then it kind of went the same way for Mousesports. Early on in the second half, they were able to get the crucial rounds, the first buy round, you know, for example, and just managed to carry it from there. Yeah. Same way that Na'Vi did to them. It wasn't until later in the half that Mousesports were able to recover some and actually start to get a little bit back in the round.
Yeah.
And, you know, it just played out identically for both teams when they swapped over. So Na'Vi weren't able to stabilize fast enough before Mousesports were able to take the game.
Yeah. When they finally did, they lost to an eco round, which is brutal. Really brutal.
That's really painful, especially when you, I mean, they got a man, but that was really nicely done there. I mean, it was the gamble for Na'Vi, right? It was, you know, the A stack. They had 4 guys over on A. Edward was the only guy on B. Chris J goes through the smoke, spots out Edward immediately. Edward will get zerged down, and then it all kind of falls apart. But now it's really fun. Now we get to see more overpass Anders. This is going to be sick.
An overpass is, I mean, it's the easiest map to look like a complete fool when you're trying to predict it because it's so new. So, I mean, I feel a strong temptation to say something really generic and just put in, like, you know, whoever's done the most work on it is going to win, stuff like that. But I think, actually, Mousesports have a really good chance of 2-0ing Na'Vi here.
Agreed. And what we can say with certainty is this is a CT-sided map, or at least the way that it's being played out right now. CT-sided map, we expect Na'Vi at least to pick up 10 rounds or so in this first half.
I would say.
That's kind of the standard that we've seen so far since the recent map changes. Now, how does it actually play out? Mousesports really speeding up fast for this A site. They're just going to try for the YOLO rush, but it's only a 1-for-1 until Edward steps in and gets a second one. He's trying.
Oh, but the smoke, and then Alu and Michaelele takes down Guardian, who was coming up from behind. So, as a matter of fact, Mousesports come in with a great push to that A bomb site. It could have worked out horribly for them. It looked like Alu was just going to get shut down. He wasn't even looking the right way, but it works out anyway. Now Zeus is sneaking up here, but a bit of a flashbang will buy more time, and he's got very low health. He's going to go down, leaving just Starix in a 1-on-3, and yeah, not really sure where he wants to go at this point. I mean, I don't think there's anything as the right option from here on out. If Mousesports don't peek, he really can't win this round, and Alu does give him a kill, but he's out of time, and he's going to get dropped by Michaelele, the latest addition, who picks up 3 kills, so a very strong start for Mousesports. Winning the pistol on the T side here, that has to account for a lot. And now we have the response. Scout, Mag 7, Deagle, Armor, and another Scout. Starix is up to you. Not going to be a 3rd Scout. All right, so they have some spread, some diverse weaponry here.
And same thing on Mousesports' side, to double ump to complement the 3 rifles. So that's some real some SMG power here, the ump. I mean, it does the most damage, I think, out of all the SMGs versus armor. So, but then beautiful. Guardian headshot onto Chris J, and that pretty much settles that.
He just wanted to go and join that picnic basket over there, and his days are over already.
Yeah, he's just taking a break, a quick lie down, right in the sun. You know, it's a nice sunny afternoon in the park.
Yeah, that's it. He should have gone to the birthday party instead.
Look at all those colorful balloons. Apparently Shroud, he was up on the balloons the other day on his stream.
Shroud.
Well, you know, it's like the Pasha. Shroud was up on the balloons. So apparently you can get up on the balloons. I guess Vendetta and I just suck at it, but, you know, Shroud, he's like the balloon master, I guess. Manages to get up there, but how things are playing out right now, Mousesports, Alu will find another kill. We're into a 4-on-2 now, and it's Guardian just trying to do some damage here from the back of the B side, but this is going to be a B side plant for Mousesports, and they've got good control, but Edward finds 1 kill with that shotgun, and they're just laying shots in left and right. Jump shot from Guardian through the wall, takes out Tabson.
That was a really good shot, and I mean, Mousesports win the round, but they really got to stop facing when there's no need to. Alu picks up a quad kill. Mousesports obviously lose a lot more than they were hoping for, but they get the bomb down, they get the round, and I think that's really the most important thing. Na'Vi can't really make it through, and now they're going to have to almost hard eco as Edward does pick up a CS at 75. Mousesports doing a good job that round of actually making the rotation over to B, because they, you know, don't want to run into a scout, so they forced Na'Vi into a bit of an uncomfortable position. So that's nice.
Boy, this is interesting. We don't see this too often. Na'Vi, 3 guys over on long right now. Hard stack for them. Chris J's going to be coming rushing around this corner. 2 guys here for Mousesports, in fact, but tabseN already getting tagged somewhat. Guardian in this position doing big damage, and Edward and Seized actually stacking up. It's not even going to be Guardian getting an assist.
Yeah. And you don't really do much damage shooting through this tree. You can shoot through it, but it's not that effective. And Na'Vi trying their very hardest to defend that picnic basket, but in the end, it's going to fall to the terrorists.
They have to give it up. All the sandwiches and the cake. It's a lie. Oh,
That's
Edward
too
right
bad.
now. Edward? Yeah. I was about to say Edward potentially could, but that step gives it away, and Alu's going to turn around in time.
So 3-0, and now Na'Vi can buy. There's the AWP on Guardian, no armor at all, so it's going to be the glass cannon mode, which is not at all a bad idea. I mean, you saw what he did with the scout, so at that range, the chances that he's going to be instantly... And he's probably going to get the opening kill anyway, so it's not a bad idea. Chris has an AWP too, and maybe they could meet over at long, but yeah, Guardian going really aggressive here. He's going to keep running. He's looking for a really fast entry frag, and he's looking the wrong way. Chris was actually ducked and just stands up and takes the kill. That seemed like Guardian just straight got outplayed.
Yeah, that was just ultra aggression from him. And Mousesports, they actually held pretty far back. In fact, way back in the pit and T-spawn, and managed to actually catch him off guard. Now tabseN, however, Seized is going to get spotted by Chris J. Chris J there to save his mate.
Well, they get the kill on Alu, who was in behind that door, so at least something is working for Na'Vi. This is still such a strong start for Mousesports here. 4-on-3. They're kind of trapped over at long, but they got plenty of time, and I think Legia may have heard them running. He's playing like a man who knows, and yeah, definitely Mousesports knew about Zeus. So I think actually he made enough noise down in the B entrance here that they actually maybe just made it a little bit easy for Mousesports to pick up that kill. Starix looking upper, but they're going to come out right as he moves, and that's just unfortunate timing. He's gone, leaving Edward. Mousesports are off to an incredible start here on the terrorist side. This has got to be, it's going to be a big concern for Na'Vi right now.
Yeah, Na'Vi have got to be kicking themselves so hard, especially when Mousesports are willing to take shots, or basically take those 1v1 duels. You know, they come out ahead, but Mousesports, at the end of it, when they have the 3 remaining members, they decide to just bum rush the man holding Sewer, and that's going to open everything up here. So Mousesports, after a lot of picks and some good passive play to start, not something we say too often with Mousesports because they do love the aggression. They love to get in their opponent's faces very early on. A good passive start for Mousesports actually pays off. And what is that, actually? Hold on, Edward. Go back to Edward. Oh, no, not Edward. Who was over in T-spawn? There was like a rabbit up on the wall?
Yeah.
Legia, go back.
What were you looking for?
Oh, it's right here. What is this? Das something. Okay. I haven't even actually...
Are you reading up on the graffiti or on the...
Yeah, exactly, on the graffiti.
There's a lot of really cool decals around the walls on Overpass. Actually, one of the really enjoyable things about this map.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
I mean, you can tell that like this is kind of like, it almost feels like these are just like the doodles, right? You know, that maybe, you know, Valve guys in a meeting, right? You know, they would have like the little notepad and Matt Woods talking or about something, and then, you know, somebody's just doodling.
The one thing I'm not sure if there is on this map, maybe down in towards the underpass where you can sort of, or the middle of the map, the sewer area, I'm not sure, but I'm not sure if there's a boiler on this map. Valve have been steadily adding more and more boilers.
Wait, there was a boiler added in the recent update. Was that boiler added to... Was there a boiler on Overpass?
I think it's on Cobblestone. There's maybe a boiler.
Is it on Cobble?
I don't know. But Valve, that seems to be a priority in the Valve office. They have like a...
Operation Boiler, man, clearly.
Yeah. There's just up on the subreddit right now. Someone's already put that in as a potential suggestion.
Boiler instead of the start button. Boiler. Yes, I'm all for it, man. I'm all for it. It's like the pirate talk, you know, except that now it's just gonna be like boiler everywhere. And yeah, well, looks like we have another delay rolling in here. So Na'Vi and Mousesports clashing. Mousesports off to a terrific start, at least here on Overpass. And when we're talking about, you know, at the beginning of this map, when we're talking about how this is a CT-sided map and we can really kind of expect Na'Vi to pick up 10 rounds on it,
it feels like
they've already got 4.
It feels like the last 2 maps we've seen on Overpass, we've seen like 12-3 comebacks from like where you've been winning 12 rounds on the CT side, and you've still end up fighting for overtime or losing.
Yeah.
That's basically what it's down to. So for Mousesports to already be picking up 4 rounds and maybe even, I mean, a 5th coming up, that's got to be considered an extremely strong start.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I mean, just at the beginning of the round as well, at the beginning of the half as well, sorry, I was readjusting my cables there, but like at the beginning of the half when Mousesports, you know, they're just not going to have any pressure on them at all. They can go through the rest of this half and just kind of coast and really just keep the pressure up on Na'Vi. Go for crazy buys if they want to. Just really try and put as much pressure on Na'Vi as possible, because all of the pressure is going to be on Na'Vi's side of the map now, because Na'Vi know just how difficult it is to pick up those T rounds, how important those T rounds are. So they have to be thinking now, Na'Vi just, okay, then one round at a time, but we have to win the rest of these rounds here. The rest of this half has to be ours for us to have a shot in the second half. But then I think about Mirage and how they mirrored each other there.
Yeah. It was kind of brutal how the first round where now we are actually able to buy and they go for that super aggression with Guardian and everything. It almost felt like sort of a, to borrow a StarCraft term, like a build order loss. Because Chris J, it seemed like he knew exactly what was on the menu. He crouched and stood up just as the timing was perfect. That was kind of cool.
It was really well played by Mousesports. And actually, I like that as well, because maybe Na'Vi, they're thinking that Mousesports are just going to go for aggression all the time, right? Kind of like one-trick pony sort of thing, where it's just like Mousesports don't know how to play passively. Yeah. And then Mousesports, all of a sudden, they just change it up completely. And they're like, okay, we'll just, we'll wait and see exactly what you guys are going to do and try and play accordingly.
Yeah. Interesting start to this map. I mean, we were interviewing, after our game yesterday with Dignitas, we were interviewing Dupree.
Yeah.
And he said he felt this map sometimes feels like it's even more CT-sided than Nuke is. So that's why we're sort of making a big deal about it. We're talking to some of the pros as well, and they're sort of... They have the same feeling that we've been having, that if you play it right, it can be really CT-sided.
Now, what I wonder is basically, is this due to how the design of the map is right now, or is it just the fact that, on the T side, they haven't quite put in, the time yet to figure out all the smokes and flashes and everything like that, all the little trick boosts. And
I feel quite confident in saying that once we see the teams really start picking up on the T-side smokes, as you're talking about, and flashbangs and like all the different tricks, that's going to make a big difference. But there's still like a fundamental thing about the map architecture that actually is a little bit concerning. When they halfway changed, they made it a little bit better when they removed the house on the A-bomb site. Yeah. But it still doesn't change the fact that the A-bomb site is a bomb site you can hold with very few people, and you can get info really early on when someone is get it going that way. Sure. So you need a few people there, and the rest can sort of hang out at B. And even if something happens at A, you can get really quickly back to A bomb site. So I think
you need a man in middle, you need a man in toilets basically, and a man holding long. So it's like, and you don't even really need the man holding it long, but you kind of put him out there like Guardian with the AWP, right? That's kind of like the focal point, and then you can have the three other guys just kind of waiting around towards the B side.
Yeah, and I think another feature of the map is that a lot of the positions are, from a CT point of view, are very dynamic, meaning that you start off, like, let's say you're holding toilets aggressively on the CT side, so you have two people there. Yeah. Well, one of those two people can just take a few steps forward and start falling down the stairwell, and then he's going to be at B in a seconds, right? Sure. So it's a lot of the CT positions, they have like a certain duality to them. They can function in different ways. So I actually think that's what it comes down to, is that the one bomb site's very easy to hold, and the other one is, you can have a lot of setups where you can rotate it back and forth, and you can be almost be in multiple positions at the same time. So that will never change, but it'll definitely be easier once you start loading smokes and flashes and everything else.
Yeah, but you don't have, like, that's the other thing though, is like, because of the long, tries to be a little bit tricky, because of long, you still have that area of the map that's kind of like, you would think that it's just going to get ignored most of the time, but actually it seems like a lot does happen over there, surprisingly enough. Whereas, you would think, or originally, like the T side, it's either, you kind of go towards B, or you're going to be focusing on mid, like the toilet area and stuff like that. But now that there's long there, the CT side actually has to have a man there to rotate around and actually keep an eye on it to make sure that you're not going to get flanked through, because you can still cut through toilets from long as well. So if you work your way all the way up there, you can still kind of flank into mid. There's options for the T side as well. I'm just curious to see like how, if more time is going to be enough for them to figure out exactly how to counter these standard holds that we're seeing for the CT side.
I think there's a bunch of boost spots that, we already know of a lot of them, but
boost spot on B that actually.
But we know. But later on they're gonna come up with even more. There's no doubt. So. Sure. And we still sometimes see, even on like the really old maps, we see new boosts being discovered where someone, just improvised even. You could just decide to do it at one point.
I'm more curious about like if they're going to change anything about Soar, if they're going to, because it's still not a focus. It doesn't seem like it's still a focal point for the CT side, right? That whole connector mid area or the connector tunnel area, right? Yeah. It still seems like a standard setup for CT side is to just kind of like have a guy floating around towards barrels on B to watch the main entrance into the B side, and then have a guy float around on short and kind of just like look towards squeak door, look towards towards the sewer area pipe. And that's it, right? It's not that battle that we expected to see on the map in the connector area every round, right? Because basically you can kind of just like hop over on the corner and look over the wall, and there you go. You can spot them if they're there. If your short guy doesn't see them.
It's going to be a while, but it feels like the competitive community have sort of picked this map as the map they want to compete on, and then Cobblestone has been left a little bit in the wayside. So I mean, I think we'll just have to keep an eye on it for the upcoming months and see what's going to happen as we get closer to DreamHack Winter, which is towards the end of the year.
Yeah, DreamHack Winter, man.
Oh, Jönköping.
Man, and we actually have time for the teams too. Like, there's a good amount of time here for the teams to really get prepared, get their game faces on. And now with the travel support, like we were talking about earlier with Cloud9, RI Power, you know, these international teams, they can actually get over here to Stockholm and boot camp going up to that event, and they'll have support there from DreamHack and Valve. That is sick. That it really makes a huge difference when you're talking about how it's always potentially a struggle for the North American teams to set up those boot camps. Now, if they can just turn to DreamHack and be like, "Hey, DreamHack, Inferno, you know, can we work something out?" Bam, DreamHack are like, "Yeah, don't worry, you got 5 PCs. There you go." Right?
Makes me wonder if that doesn't also open up for something that I've at least been wanting for most of 2014, which is a North American major, which would be very cool.
Yeah.
Why not? I mean, I know you're going to be flying in more teams, like you're going to be offering more travel support, but it's not actually that much. I mean, I know it's, you know, for Valve, if you're already paying out 250,000, then putting aside another 20,000 in travel support or something it's not that crazy.
Yeah, but 20,000 covers like barely two teams coming from Europe, right? Because it's like upward of 10 grand USD at least per team.
Travel them by boat or something, man. It's like, you know,
put them all in a container. Just don't let the pipe get hammered down.
Exactly. Just, you know, they'll be all right. No, but I'm just saying that would be very cool. I would love a North American major at one point.
It would be sick. It's just, you know, can the teams actually make it there? And, you know, you have a lot of these teams, you know, like 3D Max, say that 3D Max qualify. 3D Max is not that huge an organization. So when you actually think about it, it's like if they have to fly 5 guys plus a manager over there, hotels, it's just the cost of going across the Atlantic or across the Pacific is like humongous when you think about it. So
I have high hopes because
it would still have to be East Coast though. That's the thing. It would still have to be East Coast. Just the time zone for European viewers being able to tune in.
Yeah. One of the cool things would be that actually the American audience is generally quite persistent, right? I mean, normally when we cast on our own channel, we end up at about 30% of our viewers, I think, come from the US.
Sure.
So I mean, that's really cool. That means if you did a North American major, I feel quite confident that if you booked a large enough venue, you would probably be able to fill that venue. Even though America's a big country and people have to travel from all over and everything, I still think you can get a lot of people going if you just pick the right spot.
What?
Las Vegas.
Las Vegas, right? Like the homeland of
I have really big dreams for
events, right? Just like
yeah,
you know, that's where it has to happen. It's got to be like Hawaii.
Only
basically.
if we can get Sarah Palin to host it.
No, I'm all about
right.
Alaska maybe, but I'm all about Hawaii. Let's just go to Hawaii. You know, they have great internet, I hear. It's perfect. You know, during the downtime, nobody would be bored. It would be a great time.
It's actually true. Okay, we'll dream on about Hawaii and Sarah Palin later. It's going to be into the 5th round here, as Mousesports do have a 4-0 lead, and Navi have forced up here with no body armor on 2 people, mag 7 on Zeus. I very seriously question the wisdom of what Navi are up to here. And Seized, I mean, again, defending the picnic over there. They're gonna take his sandwiches again.
They're gonna get raided. That's it. Mousesports are gonna be really happy. Good fuel to go in here. Although Guardian starts off strong. Good shot there onto Tapson. And that's gonna bring it back to a 4-on-4 here. But
they
Navi,
only 3 people in connector.
Yeah, that's a totally different approach here, actually. What is going on? 3 guys in connector is really interesting. And right around the corner there, in fact, is Alu kind of floating about. So Alu could be in for a very sad time here, but they're gonna close in. Michael Elliott entry there, but Zeus annihilates Alu with that mag 7.
Oh, and Zeus will pick up a 2nd kill as well. Very nicely done. I actually think, even though it seems like a really cool idea, I actually think that kind of hold only works if Mousesports actually go hunting. I'm pretty sure if Mousesports just focus on A or B, it won't help you that much having 3 people rotate. Chris trying to maneuver and have a bit of air control there to get out of Starrick scopes, but not going to work. So now the force-up works. They even steal the AWP, and we'll be able to drop it in the upcoming round here. So that's good news. Guardian, he's just going to buy armor and a little bit extra, and we're looking at a 4-1 scoreline. Mousesports still able to buy, but if they lose the upcoming round, they won't be able to buy any longer. They're going to have to eco. So Navi now is where they got to get back on track. Exactly. Here's the revenge.
Yeah, okay. So I was looking at the setup again.
He's even scoped up right over that basket, making sure nobody can touch it. At this point, just put a hand grenade. Like, you know, take the split out, put it under the basket so that when Mousesports come for it...
The booby trap.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Oh, there's a guy right here, Legia. Did you hear him go by? He's hiding at the edge of the smoke. They've traded places without either player knowing. And maybe Legia has an idea. Tabson's going to take down Guardian, though. And Legia is going to get a free kill on Edward. Easy peasy. And now there's got to be frustration and chaos in the Na'Vi ranks. And here as well, Starix, who had such a great flank. I mean, that should have been the answer. That should have been the other side of the coin here for Na'Vi, that they at least got that kill. And now Zeus is walking in. And Legia, has he heard him yet? He's not scoped up or not aiming the right spot here. Zeus could get this kill. Now they at least know he's here, but backup's coming quick. Legia takes the fight. Zeus not connecting, and Legia is going to pick up a second kill. Now seized alone. This is an absolute disaster for Na'Vi.
This is everything going wrong for them. Although Seized is still going to get a freebie on Alu, who is running around there with his knife out. Okay. Nice nade there. Money nade. 50 health left on Seized. That was brilliant.
Oh, and they just wallbang him down. Tabson just doesn't even care. That's a ridiculous round from Mousesports. The fact that they managed to get by each other in the pipe, the fact that Legia snuck up and killed Edward, I think it was, coming up from sewer, that was just way too much.
But the fact that Starks gets picked off as well, just like that, right? He's not even able to do anything, really. He just gets annihilated. That's the real problem there, is the fact that he's not able to make his flank work, because that could turn things back Na'Vi's way. If he can just camp the bomb, then Na'Vi can start pushing around on the map, and things can get hairy for Mousesports. But no luck this time around, and Mousesports continue to dominate and force Na'Vi into a very uncomfortable position here regarding the money. Force up from Na'Vi.
Yeah, Edward caught in the middle of nowhere. There's nothing. He shouldn't even have been there. Starix is going to get grenaded a second one. Mousesports are just making this work on a very high level. And honestly, Na'Vi feel dazed and confused right now. I'm not sure. I'm not sure they have a real plan.
Yeah, great movie. And Zeus gets tagged down to 1 HP. So now all of a sudden,
he's kind of out of the fight, right? He's actually just running away.
I mean, this is a smart play from Zeus. Hold on to that rifle, work with it in the next round. You know, he's like, no fun for anyone. Zeus, he's like, if I have to eco, you're not going to have a party. Guardian, freebie, picks up the AK as well. No.
Nope.
But still, this is actually somewhat solid for Na'Vi. I mean, if they can hold on to these two guns, maybe, but Mousesports have got 6 rounds. And it's clear, it seems clear that Mousesports have put some thought into what happened on the map yesterday on Overpass, and that, you know, Na'Vi are not going to have a very easy time with things here at all.
No, definitely not. And actually, I mean, the problem is even saving those 2 guns, the rest of Na'Vi still can't buy. I mean, they just don't have the money for it. You can sell right here. So they try their best. They do buy up another rifle on Edward, but this is the problem. Na'Vi, I mean, they've lost so many rounds that for them to go for a double eco and really make a full buy would give Mousesports such an incredibly good first half. But at the same time, not doing it could mean they just get steamrolled here, like completely trashed. And I think that's what we're seeing right here. Na'Vi are maybe making a bit of an incorrect decision.
Oh, this is looking really solid, though. Smoke to go down on short, though. But Starks is still alive on the site proper, and he's going to manage to stop this push from coming in, or at least delay it somewhat. They know he's dancing around here, but Edward is gone. Starks still alive, and even gets the headshot point blank on Tabson.
Really good work here, especially considering the fact that Na'Vi had almost no grenades to defend with here. That was just down to rifle play. 2-on-2, the bomb does go down, and actually Tabson is very low. Got the Molotov to blank up the 1 pipe, so that's going to buy a little bit of time here. Guardian rushes through the Molotov and takes a hell of a lot of damage for it, and Legia will easily pick him off. So now a 1-on-1, and Seized has to come up big. They got to win this round. Legia, ready with the AK, holds down Mouse 1, but Seized takes it, and he has got the time to defuse as well, so very close call for Na'Vi. But they win it and make it to 6-2. That's very important.
These force buys right now for Na'Vi, nail-biting, but they're getting it done in the end. And they actually make it work here. Such an awkward position to find themselves in. See, he's not getting that AK. Okay. But Na'Vi now, okay, they're in that force. They managed to come out of it. They're going to be able to stabilize somewhat, and they go for a double op.
Yeah. I think this is good. Right now, Na'Vi have got to go all in.
They've got to come up with something, yes, but Zeus with an op as well. That's not something we see every day. Seized is leading the charge with Guardian out onto long. They're looking to get aggressive again, it looks like. Although Guardian, bit of a boost spot for him, changing up the angle. This is very clever from him as well. That's Sign.
Yeah, and what's going to be cool about this is that when they come around this corner, Guardian's going to take the first shot, and no one will be focused on Seized. So, yep, there's the shot. Seized. Oh, no. I really wanted him to peek out right here, but Starix will take her Legia. Are they going to do it now? Perfect timing for Seized to take down Mike Kalili, and Chris goes down to Edward. So this is a solid round. This is how Na'Vi should have been playing all along. Now they need to come out of this round without losing anyone, and that's looking very likely at this point. Alu coming up through connector, and just the only guy left here. Perfect.
Perfect. Hold
That's what Na'Vi need.
I was about to say that you were going to curse them there with the, you know, the perfect calling it early and then...
3 AWPs. They steal another one. Edward took Alu's AWP.
Now, is this bordering on the ridiculous?
Yeah, actually, I think it is. I think this is not cool any longer.
This was a fad, you know, this was cool back in the 90s, but, you know, now...
And the one thing they have going for them is that Mousesports only have 3 AKs, so maybe they're not going to be as fast as... But if they went for a rush here, these AWPs could come back to really bite them, especially if they retake a bomb site afterwards here. Seized, goes down. That's a Tech 9 from Chris, which was recently buffed. Guardian gets shot in the back, tries to see if he can fall all the way back here, smoking and flashing behind him, and he's going to get into a better position. But Mousesports are pretty hot on his heels.
This is Zeus now holding on this A side. He's going to manage to get an easy kill there onto Legia, who's looking towards his teammate on that main site. Guardian dropped fairly low, but I love it. Or I loved this until Guardian takes a nade to the face. But the Crossfire op here, the Crossfire op setup on A side abusing this choke point. Only problem is that Na'Vi are now down 2 guys, and the B side is wide open. Mousesports realize this as well. Looks like they're actually getting into position to set up, and this is great taps, and he's going to smoke out Sniper.
Yeah. Gotta wonder if that's... Oh, yes,
Perfect.
it is. Perfectly. So that's nice. Those are the smokes that can really be hard to land when it's a map that you haven't practiced that much. But this is going to give them free entrance into the bomb site. They're going to make the crossover as well. Michaelity doesn't have the bomb here, and Zeus wants to catch a kill. He's actually going to get it, but he drops very low on health. And this is a 2-1-3 retake. Na'Vi, they do have a kid on Edward, so it's definitely doable. But AWPs, again, AWPs retaking, not the ideal weapon.
Sees that on Edward, though, but Alu takes out Zeus. It's all down to Edward. He gets flanked as well, and it's just a crossfire setup for him. Alu and Chris J double team him in the end, and Mousesports just come right back into this game. 7 rounds now on the board. Na'Vi, luckily enough for them, because they had such a stellar buy before this one, or they were able to actually have a little bit of money in the bank. But again, it's just them, you know, going 3 ops and then right into basically getting whatever they can with very limited nades here. So Mousesports, they have another real chance at just shattering Na'Vi's economy.
Yeah, Alu's flank in that round was really cool. That was very well played by the Finnish player. Guardian utterly flashed here. Zeus there to help him up. The perfect teammate coming in there. Very nice backup from Zeus. Otherwise, Guardian would have been gone instantly. And Seized actually doesn't get that kill. It was Zeus who stole it from him. Mike Killilis goes down. So Na'Vi looking strong in this one round here. But I think the 3 AWPs, that could cost them a lot. 7 rounds is a very good start for Mousesports. They're still so far ahead, it's almost unreal.
Oh, Starks with the flank right now. Chris J. Oh, he's never going to see this. Taps and stands his ground and takes out Zeus, though. We're into a 2-on-3, and Chris J will find Edward. Starks is still here, though. Walks right in, and Chris J misses the no-scope. What did we just see?
I don't know. Now he's trying to run away, and actually Seized hurt him. So he's going to get a bomb plant here, which is still kind of great because Mousesports didn't have that much money to begin with. So $800 bonus.
Does he get into a good afterplan position, though? Oh, he hears the steps, gets the shot. Chris J, 1v1. Oh, and he does it! Chris, the clutch quad kill for him. He is here.
I don't know if I want to nominate this for Player of the Day because it's so ridiculous. It's so absurd that he gets out of that position, and obviously Na'Vi. Oh god, this is now a landslide for Mousesports.
Oh, that was fantastic, Chris J.
I don't think anyone has come up with a way to stop a landslide. I think the thing you do is you kind of move out of the way and hope your house isn't, you know, further down the hill.
You cower, man. You just cower. Oh. He's not actually going to do much there. C's just going to donk it for now. But yeah, Na'Vi now just kind of forcing up again. Basically, that's the trend this entire first half is Na'Vi just forcing, hoping that they get something done. Michael Lily's going to pick up a frag. C's manages to follow up on it, however. So 1 kill going Na'Vi's way, but Mousesports once again getting out onto a bomb site. They've got the B side under control.
Yeah, Na'Vi were all down in the sewer area, just hoping for the very best here. And now, there's not really anything they can do. This is one of the most impressive T-sides of this map we've seen. You got to remember, I mean, Na'Vi last they played this map, we saw them pick up 13 rounds on the CT side. So it's not like they don't know how to do this. And I'm pretty sure they won against Hellraisers on this map too in the game show thing. So I don't know. 9-3.
This is where it gets really scary. Well, now the question is, does Mirage repeat itself, right? Do Na'Vi manage to get that start? You know, it's not over until one of these teams has 16 rounds or we're in overtime. So anything is possible, but it's definitely going to be very tough here, considering Mousesports also know how to play this map very well. And they took the map when they played versus Na'Vi last night. It was overtime, sure, but now we have to see. Starks with the peek. He actually makes it out of there alive. He even tags up Chris J. He's going to go for the re-peek here, and it's not going to work this time.
No, they're all there. Edward, nice headshot. Bit of a Molotov, and then Chris is going to take him down. Seized, that's a heroic move, just jumping right in, and he's actually going to be really fast here with the Max 7, and this might be the perfect position for it. Let's see if he can get some nice jumping kills. Zeus is coming up from behind and executes Chris J. Bomb goes down, sure, but they're a man down on the Mousesports sides and getting hunted. They're getting herded out of the bomb site with the Max 7s here, and Michael Elliott gets a grenade to the face, down to half health, and that's going to be it. Seized. Tired of Mousesports games. Seems like Max 7s are the answer for stopping the
madness.
Stopping the madness, yeah.
Getting shot at as well. That's a lot of money that they just made as well. Jeez. Don't kill him, man.
Oh. Is that a sign that Na'Vi are celebrating that one round, or are they starting to lose focus here? It's been a long day for them.
It's true.
They played a best of 5, and they had to play their way to the finals as well. And then, you know, and at least watch the other games too. And then, oh, now they're playing at a best of 3 again. Yeah,
it's definitely a very long day here for Na'Vi. There's no getting around that, and that could explain some things. But Mousesports also had to play some games tonight as well. Yeah. So it's like both of these teams. I mean, it's a marathon night here, end of the week on a Sunday evening. So I imagine they're all going to be sleeping in tomorrow, taking their time. Now we look at Mousesports. Force buy for them. They have the AWP on Chris J. He had enough money. Let's see if he can actually find them. Yeah, there you go. Walks in on Guardian. It even gets the second frag on Edward. Goes back for more. Looked like he was on there.
Oh, and Zeus will take him down. If he had got that third kill, that would have probably been the play of the day. That was a really smooth movement. I mean, not the most obvious position to use an AWP, right? It has a scope on it, so technically, you know, supposed to be long range out of the forest shooting at people, but... Not close quarters like this, but Chris does it. Tabson now sneaking into the bomb site. Has to look the right way here, and we'll pick up Starix, but grenade against that one C-set 75. Not the best idea. Legia catches Zeus, who tried to get in through the pipe. Still got plenty of time, so bomb gets picked off and seized. He's really going to have to come up big here, but even if he does, it's hard to get too excited right now. What is he trying to mate with that trash can? Leave it alone, Seized. You've got a job to do.
I mean, you know that nobody's coming, sure, but man, you don't have any time to waste. Yeah, that's all right. Just walks out into Legia. That's like the anticlimactic ending there.
Maybe he should have stayed with the trash can. I mean, if they were falling in love, it would have been a better thing at the end.
Talk about climax, maybe.
This is just very good work from Online J. As, he's tagged up as well. At least this is AWP is.
Yeah, but it's a double op. Like, this is the map of ops, apparently. Na'Vi just go for double op themselves. Zeus and Seas both rocking the scope sniper rifle.
They have no grenades at all, Na'Vi, here to stop anything. And, like, they can't retake a bomb site. They gotta just use these up to get them out. And Seas will pick up the first kill. Starix with a shot, and Starix comes in with a double. And actually, they're all stacked up here in the sewer. And that seems to be working wondrously. Tabson gets a kill. Seas still alive. And it's a 1-on-3 here for Alu.
Who's actually on a wraparound mission right now.
If he had the bomb, it'd be kind of cool, but...
Look at this. Oh, Starks takes it. Okay, I thought that was going to be a guaranteed kill there for Alu.
10-5 by, I don't know, by any info that we have about this map. That's a really bad start for Na'Vi. No one's really underperforming on Na'Vi side. I mean, they're all kind of even, so that's great. On the other team, Michael Elias at 6 kills, so that's not exactly ideal. But overall, this has just been too much of a solid performance from Mousesports. It's sure they've been winning the critical rounds, but it feels like the few rounds where Na'Vi made a tough decision and a tough call and said, all right, we're going to force up here, it only worked like once or twice, and the majority of the time, it really backfired on them, and it broke their economy for the whole first half, basically.
Yeah, that was... Oh, man. that was just odd. But, I mean, yeah, that was the case for sure. Mousesports... I mean, Na'Vi winning the rounds, basically, they were like the force buys, and then when they had everything going for them, that's when they would lose. So it was a very backwards half there for Na'Vi. But to give you guys a sense of, you know, a comparison here, you know, this is basically, imagine Mousesports and Na'Vi having that kind of scoreline on Nuke.
Yeah, that's basically it. Or maybe even worse, like Dupree was saying. It's going to be a B push coming out here, grenade, and then the follow-up HE, so a little bit of time bought. Legia is going to pick up the first kill onto Zeus, actually sneaking up behind them. So now Mousesports, not only they have to stop that push, they're now worried about getting wrapped around. If they go in, maybe they're going to be sandwiched. Legia going for a heroic jump. Maybe they heard that. They're still fighting it out, and he's going to retreat back for a moment, but they're wasting so much time doing this, Na'Vi. 35 seconds. Got to get into this bomb site quick, otherwise they're going to run out of time. Maikelele waiting right at the edge, right by the ledge, and it's going to be taken down. Actually, that was Chris J taking out Starix. Maikelele still haven't found a kill, but he's getting wrapped around, and Edward will drop him. Dual elites as well on Seized, and it's a 3-on-3, 3-on-2 now, and Guardian in a great position to take down Alu, and that's going to happen.
Yeah, it's all negative. Basically, he's going to get overwhelmed by Guardian, and Na'Vi, pistol round, managed to pick it up. Flying colors as well for them, so this is excellent here for Na'Vi. Good start to this round, and now, what do we see from Mousesports? Is it going to be the Force? And it will be, so Legia and double scout. There we go, Chris J and Legia. And I'm wondering now if Na'Vi, if they're going to put anybody over on long with potentially the threat of a scout play there, because I imagine Chris is actually just going to go for the Guardian play. He's running straight towards T-spawn right now.
Yeah, wants to see if he can catch an early headshot on somebody, but even if he spots nobody here, imagine how much, that's just so much information given already. Tabs in the smoke's going to be a second too late. Maikelele will pick up a kill. That smoke not going to stop anyone. They just keep coming through as they should, and P90 as well on Seized, and Zeus has dropped Legia, so this is looking really good for Na'Vi anyway. In spite of all that information that Chris got, I'm surprised that there wasn't a call made earlier that, wait a minute, there's absolutely nobody on this whole side of the map.
Oh, is Zeus in the proper corner here? I mean, he's on the other side.
Yeah.
Alu has no way of knowing this, of course. Chris J has been picked up on the other side of the, or at the main entrance to the B-bomb site. So Alu, does he get a chance here? Zeus is about to round this corner. Or is he going to leave it up to his mate? I mean, this is also wise here if they leave Edward to it.
Oh, Alu turns around at the right time, but does still kill Zeus, and if he can make it out with the scout and armor, that's actually worth a lot. So, I don't know, 2 kills happening, not really what Mousesports were looking for, but Na'Vi doing a good job taking the bomb site, making their way to 10-7. We are still, I mean, even if they make it to 10-8, we have to assume they're going to be really far behind.
Exactly, Mousesports should be able to bounce back into this. Alu with that scout, this is looking good. I mean, Mousesports still in control. They can't be too worried right now. Na'Vi are the ones who are really fighting with this, and they actually pick up a P90 here on Seized. So
yeah, they saved that for last round.
Oh, they did.
Yeah.
So SMG picked up. I mean, Seized is going all over the place right now. Dual elites in the pistol, P90 in the second round. This is some cool play coming out here from Na'Vi. But again, it looks like focus is going to be on the B side here for Na'Vi. Not too much attention in mid towards long.
And are they going to make the rotation this time? Because again, they have all the information, just spotting out absolutely no one. Maikelele hiding right by the pillar in the middle. Tabson will pick up the first kill here. And they're walking in. Guardian look at the wrong way. USPS is enough to take that kill. Still got bullets left and is looking for a little bit more, but he's going to have to fall back. And Alu's up on the high ground with the scout. Might be able to pick up a kill. It actually doesn't hit that shot. Second one does connect on Edward, and that's going to be a little bit of trouble here. They're very low on health. Starix and Zeus, 1 bullet on each. He misses the shot. And there it is. Starix picks up 3 kills and only barely saves it. What an incredibly scary round for Na'Vi. They could have very easily lost that 2-on-2.
Absolutely. Tabson with the strong start, picking up a man on short. Maikelele just crouching on that site, manages to get the one on as Na'Vi just kind of running onto this site and not really checking angles either. Very, very kind of odd play there by Na'Vi. Not often that we see them just kind of like YOLO onto a bomb site like that without being thorough. But Mousesports, they managed to actually get a good punish in. Now it's going to be Mousesports, buy round for them, the 19th round, of course. So they've been ecoing, and now they actually have the money for the rifles. But no AWP picked up here for Chris J. He actually just goes for the CZ75, which is, I mean, actually, this is actually just smart play from him because he can get behind these angles like this with that CZ and really just punish with that rifle.
Starix making a lot of noise, and I'm not sure he's realizing there's a guy in that corner, and he won't. Legia will take him down. So great play here from the Mousesports side. This is the round that Na'Vi gotta win. I think if Mousesports win this round, I'm not sure. I think they're gonna gain the traction they had in the first half back, and then they won't stop.
Yes,
so
they could get out of control. Alu, very clean work there on Zeus as well. Legia could potentially catch Edward off guard if he decides to peek. They decide to play it safe though, Mousesports. After the early frags, this is how they need to play it basically. A little bit of a peek out here on long, which is basically playing with fire, but Alu is gonna best Guardian. Guardian missing a crucial shot. So that was the risk there taken by Mousesports. But the rest of them are now just kind of pushing out around the map, trying to play off this information. And Legia making a lot of noise over here. Seized definitely knows that there's a guy lurking.
yeah, Edward's going to take down Alu. Only got 25 seconds. And the guy carrying the bomb, Edward, well, no, he's not. Sorry, they're Seized with 100 health. So I guess maybe if they can make it into a bomb site, they have a bit of a chance. But how are they going to get there? 15 seconds. It almost takes that long to run up to the A bomb site. I actually think Na'Vi can't win the round any longer, no matter what happens. They're out.
They've wasted too much time. They've definitely bogged down here. 5 seconds counts down, and unless Mousesports were to just take these fights it's not going to happen. And even Mousesports, I mean, still, even in this position, Mousesports, I feel like they gave up way too many frags.
They did. They gave away too many frags. But Na'Vi just didn't have the health or the time to push in and do something with it. So 11-8. Na'Vi, they kind of buy up here. Deagle without armor on Starik. CZ75 on Zeus. The AWP, I guess, is the most important thing here for Guardian. He's going to have to go insane here. Like, he has to reach that crazy Guardian level that he knows he has somewhere. But that's what the Na'Vi need right now. Good opening frag, though, on Mikelele is going to make a big difference here. And Chris, looking to the sewer, will pick up Starix immediately. But he only had a pistol, so still a fair trade for Na'Vi, I would say.
Yeah, manages to get into a solid position here as well. Tabson going to take a peek and actually catch Zeus with a nade in hand and gets the re-peek headshot. Sick play there by Tabson. And now this is man advantage situation here for Mousesports. They're locking down these sites, and Na'Vi decide to try and focus elsewhere on this map. They are going to make a little bit of noise. It looks like they're trying to wrap back around through connector. They could try and just go for the ultra fake here and wrap back onto B side through short. This would be a mind game. But Tabson, oh, he drops down just in the nick of time.
Yeah, that's a real shame. It would have been nice if he had done that peek, but he spots them anyway. Information gained. And I'm not even sure Na'Vi knows that he knows, and that does make a big difference. If Na'Vi realized that they'd got caught doing that, they could change their player quite a bit. Jumping there, I think he got spotted Edward as well, so Chris takes down Guardian. And it's a 2-on-4. The thing is, they're out of time here. 25 seconds.
27, exactly. Those peaks, the ability for the CT side to peak like that, very low risk peak, just hop on up and you spot them out in sewer. That's a huge advantage in Mousesports. They make it work that time. And they make the right call. 10 seconds left. There's just no time.
I actually wouldn't be surprised if we're going to see a lot more CT setups, terrorist setups, where you just have an AWP waiting on the likely spots where somebody jumps. We see that on Nuke, for instance. You know, people out in the courtyard on the terrorist side where people jump on the box or try to peek over. I think that could be a likely play in the future if you're on the terrorist side. Just set up people in positions. You could even go for like a double AWP setup. Have two angles covered. You think probably at some point in the